Well, good evening everyone, and welcome along to FRL Racing League's Pro tier, and it's the final round here at Kyalami, round 10, and it is the Showdown, the one that we've all been waiting for since last week's results in the Dutch race at Zandvoort, which saw the championship really close up. But joining me in the commentary box is Kobe. I won't attempt your last name because I will butcher it, and best known as Coal Fighter, also not being able to race tonight. But Kobe, what's your thoughts on what's bound to be an awesome showdown?
Well, yeah, the championship is gonna be really tight with basically Morex, Goal Racing and Aldori fighting for the win. Only 3 points between the three of them, and with what it looks at the moment now, the Audi definitely will have the advantage at this track, so we'll be able to see if Sean, either Goal Racing and Aldori can come back towards Marks in the race or not.
Yeah, that's a good point. Obviously, it all closed up last week. Sean was leading quite handsomely after a win in the previous round, but due to illness and really struggling with tyres with the Mercedes in the heat of Zandvoort, basically, Morex and Arms were able to close the gap down. So like Kobe says, there's only a 3-point gap with Sean leading the way still, like he has basically since the season started. 3 points over Arms or Aldori, and then we have Arsenio in the Audi, who's probably one of the favourites for tonight, Kobe.
Yeah, definitely. It will be first looking out in qualifying what everybody can do and how close the times will be between the Audi and the Mercedes. But it will be definitely a tough challenge for the Mercedes, how it looks at the moment, to come back.
Yeah, it looks like a bit of Zandvoort repeated, with the temperatures quite high, and this being a known Audi track. But also the BMW goes well, as you can see, with a small hand in third, and Ray Thomas there in fourth as well. So the BMWs should have a good show in here. I remember actually Lewis Robinson, our admin, doing very well in an endurance race around here. He actually disappeared off and won the race. So, and Nils also just popped it into fifth in practice here. So yeah, the BMWs are on the rampage as well. MGK could be a spoiler as well. We've seen him win the last race at Zandvoort, also won at Hungary earlier in the season. So he could put the get the fly in the ointment, so to speak. So we need to watch him too.
Yeah, he had a nice couple top 5 finishes, a few podiums as well to it.
So I spoke to the drivers, just trying to find their responses, but I spoke to the drivers last night and this morning just to get how they're feeling about this showdown. We'll start with MGK because he's got the least amount of chance really to win the championship, not being nasty or anything, but it's just true with the points. I think he's about 20 points back, Kobe, isn't he? Let's have a look. He is 19 points back, so he would need a minor miracle, basically all three in front of him, to disconnect really to win the championship. But yep, first question I asked him was how are your nerves for this most important of races, and he kind of gave it a Kimi Raikkonen answer of no nerves, as you'd expect, I suppose. And I said, are you confident? And not confident, gonna get the max out of the Ferrari, but the Audi is quite strong around here, and it does seem that way, to be fair. Also asked him what it would mean to win the championship, and he said it would be cool to win. Realistically, I'm too far off, and he's probably right with all those answers, Kobe.
Yeah, to be fair, it's racing. You never know what might happen. It wouldn't be the first time that a miracle could happen, so yeah, we'll only need to watch until the end of the race to see what unfolds. Miracles
do happen. You just got to believe it will happen. Like Nico apologising last week to me, but I'm not going to go into that. Anyone that didn't see that, yeah, that was the biggest crash I've ever had on this game.
Spoiler, go watch the race back.
Yeah, go watch it back and watch my death. That's why I've retired now, and now I'm commentating. So yeah, so MGK's the one with probably the least amount of chance, bless him, but it won't stop him. Then third in the championship is Morex, but I don't think he's in yet.
Morex,
he always turns up like literally 1 second ago.
Yeah, I don't see him at the moment in the server yet.
No, but no, he has equal opportunity without AMS basically. So let's look at Aldori. Is he actually on track at the minute? Yes, he is, in the 15 Mercedes. And now AMS has probably been the most consistent probably across the season. It took him the first race to really understand the Mercedes, but after that, just consistent results. Hasn't won a race, but literally constantly
He's
in
always
the top.
been up there.
Yeah, exactly. What do you think? What's his chances?
With how the championship has unfolded for him, he is always very consistent, so he definitely has a chance, but for that he will first need to mount up the challenge to the Audis, and then also need to be able to fight off Cole and finish 2 places ahead of him. So yeah, it will also be a challenge, but his challenge will be a lot easier than MGK's already.
Yeah, he kind of needs to stop with the consistency tonight and go for that win, doesn't he? He just needs to just really send it.
Yeah, go flat out. It's the only thing he has left.
Guess that's true of all of them. But I asked him the same questions, and he responded with, "I'm feeling good so far going into the race. However, the nerves usually start to kick in as we get closer to race time. I'm aiming for a clean start, as we all know how difficult it is around Kyalami to navigate through the first few laps." And that's a good point, going down into Crowthorne and then the next corner and barbecue. Yeah, it's a tricky track, and you're not really clear until you get to sunset, and then things start to settle down slightly. And I asked him if he was confident, obviously, and he said, "Currently I'm not feeling confident with the pace. We have carried out fuel runs so far, and only the pace appeared to be lacking in comparison to the Audi and BMW drivers. And that's despite the car actually felt stable and drivable, so a little bit concerning, but we know the race usually is our strong area." And again, I would say that's probably true. The Merc does come into its own on an optimum track with race pace. It's quite a consistent car. And then I asked him what it would mean to win the league. Winning the league would be a huge milestone for me in sim racing. The Taco Tuesday series has been known for a long time for its competitiveness. So to win it in the final race of the season against Morex, MGK and Cool would be a humbling experience. Wish all the guys above best of luck for tomorrow. Don't believe that for a minute. Let's go racing. But yeah, nice livery as well, actually. I've quite enjoyed seeing that disappear in the distance all season.
It's a bit like the new AMG1 hypercar-esque livery.
Yep. I'm going to pretend I know what that is. So yes.
It's the Mercedes made basically a hypercar with a Formula 1 engine in it. And the livery is also like that, with the black with the black end in the back end, the typical Mercedes logo fading away.
Yeah, looks good. So let's move on to the man on your screen right now, Sean Cool, treble 4, and he had a lot to say, as you can expect, as is normal, and I actually understood it, which is even better. But Sean's led the series, like I said, since the start, because he actually technically won round 1, even though he finished second on the road, because the first driver was a reserve, which was, I think it was Dominic Verker?
It was a Porsche driver, but I don't know the name anymore.
I think it was
Verker. It's been a long season.
I think it was Dominic Verker or something along those lines. Don't quote me on that. I'm sorry if I got it wrong. But yeah, Sean's basically led the series storm and start. Looked like he was going to run away with it for a little while, and then he just had a few inconsistencies which have cost him championships before, actually. But he lately, like I say, he's got back to he won the previous race before. I think it's Mazzano, wasn't it? Did he win?
Yeah, Mazzano won.
Yeah,
that's
he won.
Right.
Mazzano then collected points at Zandvoort, but the unfortunate thing for him was all his championship rivals beat him, so it closed the gap down. But yeah, he said to those questions, how you nervous for this important race? I'm actually quite chilled, which is a first, by the way, knowing him very well at the moment, but when the lights go out, the nerves will hit. Asking him whether he was confident, he said probably the first time this season I'm not feeling too confident due to the speed of the Audis. That seems to be a common theme about all these drivers. But we just need to race on our own and see the outcome. And then what would it mean to win the FRL Taco Tuesday League? It would obviously be such a fantastic achievement. Another one to add to the collection. Taco is definitely up there with the best on PS5, if not the best. we'll definitely be giving it all right to the end and hope to bring it home for SBR, which is obviously the group he races for, which is co-owned by myself. So yeah, he's you never know with Sean, he can produce something out of nothing.
Yeah, he definitely steps up his game when he needs to. So it might not be it might not be an easy loss or an easy win for Morix at this moment.
Yeah, Sean is your typical Scotsman. He's determined and will not give up. If he gets a sniff of a chance to win the race, he will try. But I think he's going to have it hard tonight to do that. Good evening to Jamie as well, Fresh Jinx, as he's known. Hopefully he'll come back into the championship next season. He's just taking a break at the moment. He's saying bring it home to Sean.
And I see Morix joined the server right now.
Right, yeah, let's go see Morix. He's still in the pits, unfortunately, but I'm sure he'll get a couple laps before this practice session ends in 6 minutes. So Morix in the 99 Audi. What do you reckon of his season then, Kobe?
He has been up there as well, because otherwise he wouldn't be able to fight for the championship win in the end. And yeah, the Audi definitely has a lot of strong suits, especially its top line speed, his top line speed, which helped him throughout the whole season, we will say. Like, it is a difficult car to overtake. But apart from that, yeah, he's done really well, and he will definitely make a nice battle out of it tonight.
Yeah, my feelings for Morix is he's always had the pace. I mean, no doubt a guy's pace, but he's always had those inconsistencies which can be crashes. I mean, like I think it was last season or season before, with the Mercedes, lightning fast, always qualifying well, but would always get caught up in a tangle or something. So, but this season he's really seems to have
this season he has
sorted
put
himself
it up a bit more.
Yeah, he's kind of what you feared he could do from my point of view as a driver. But watching tonight, it's going to be fun, and I think he feels like he could sneak this on the last night.
Yeah, definitely has a chance with the track that suits his car more than the others.
So again, I asked him the same questions, hopefully not getting bored of these, because I am. Then I said, how was the nerves? The nerves will eventually show up, but I'm also sure that as soon as the green lights turn on, the nerves will quickly disappear. I said, are you confident? Yes, I'm confident, and he can't complain about the Audi because he's in one. I love the track and the car's behaviour on it, so I expect a good race. Yeah, that's true, because he was flying in the Sunday race. Did he win it? I think he won it.
I think he won both, yeah.
Yeah, so he knows that he's fast, so he's got that confidence going into the race. Obviously he doesn't know what the other guys can do, but he's probably getting an idea now. And then I asked him what it would mean to win the championship. Winning Taco Tuesday with a huge achievement, as the quality of the grid is very high. I would like to take the opportunity to congratulate Cool, AMS and MGK on the fantastic championship that they have helped provide, and I wish you all a good race. So it's amicable, but I think when the lights turn out, that will stop, and then we'll see.
It's funny how every driver says that there aren't nerves, but I bet as soon as they are in the formation lap and they will start the formation for the green lights, their hearts will beat a lot quicker for the first lap.
Yeah, I think
because even though if they know what they can do, it's still you're racing with other people and you might never know what happens, and that uncertainty will definitely be up there.
Yeah, I agree with that. So who we got in tonight? Then we got Moggs. He's in the Ferrari. He's reserve, but he's been doing quite a few races. Also a fast guy. Obviously Morix going for the championship. Will Friedman, who's had a pretty disappointing season in the McLaren, wishes he'd never chosen it.
Little incidents which didn't help him through the season. Yeah,
he's been disappointed himself, so there's no need to beat him up about that. And plus he's an admin, so he'll probably just ban me. We've got Tro246. I've seen him quite a bit in the Lexus, which is a car we need to see more of. It's a great car, great sounding car. I'll try and get on board with that in the race at some point. And we have Cameron Blair in the Bentley. Nice to see that on track as well. A little bit out of date now, but it's still good to see it going around. And then you can say the next one.
So yeah, right. Camille Maikowski or something.
That's why I did. That's why I didn't do it.
If it's wrong, you can insult me afterwards.
Camille Machkowski. That's what I'm going to go with. Camille. Nice to see him on track. Yeah, in the Mercedes, made the switch during the season, but probably regrets it now.
Yeah, I think he's better with the Aston Martin.
I think so. I think that's something he'll
But yeah, a new car is always adapting, so...
Fireblade, he's in the McLaren number 57, and again, a bit of a tough season for him, but it's all part of the learning experience. Another admin I need to be nice to, Stuart Hutchinson in the BMW, had a good season. I think he's in the top 10.
I
8th.
think so as well.
Yeah, he's 8th at the moment, got a chance of 7th, so a solid season for Stuart. Blonge, 82, I'm going to go with.
Yeah, he's a new driver in FRL, so we will need to see what he will produce during this first round of his.
Well, it's a solid practice time so far, so pretty impressive start for Blonge. He's crossing the line now, doesn't improve. And then we've got Ice Dude. Let's go rattle through these quickly. He's in the Audi. Am's down in 12th in practice. He needs to hope that's just race pace. Fastclav Pop Pizzle. You thought I was going to mess that up, didn't you? He's 11th fastest and currently 10th in the championship. Andy Crate, he's in 10th. Evening to you, Andy. MGK is here in the Ferrari. Josh Clayton in the Mercedes. Nils Van... Give me a second. I've got this. Nils Van Lyck?
Yeah, it will be around.
Nils. It's Nils.
It's Nils.
Ray Thomas in the BMW. And then we've got Sean Cole, Damien Vandervoort, Small Hand, that's an easy one. Nicolo Buzov, second fastest. Bruno is the one we haven't mentioned actually. Kobe?
No, we haven't mentioned him. He has been a fast driver throughout the season, but I think he missed a race or two, which may basically put him out of championship contention.
Yeah. Yeah, he missed 2 races. But when he has been there, his worst is a 15th. But then he's got 3rd, 4th, 1st, 3rd, 4th, so what could have been?
Yeah, he could have been on there as well.
Yeah,
if you look at the moment at the sector times, it's definitely the Audis that have the advantage. All these sector times are by the Audi, with Buzov being the first sector the fastest, and then Bruno having the second and the third sector the fastest lap time at the moment.
So could Morek steal it? 'Cause he didn't start the championship too well. He's 4th, 4th and 10th and 9th, but since then it's been 2nd, 3rd, 1st, 4th, 2nd. That's crazy. With Sean, he started off with a 2nd, which was technically a 1st, then a 1st, 8th, 2nd, 12th, then 4th, 4th, 1st, 5th, so he just had a couple whoopsies really. I think that's the best way of putting it.
I think Silverstone was his worst, where he put on the dry tires instead of the wets.
Yeah, he went with a Scottish prediction of weather, which was for the Highlands, I think.
No, but I'm now curious what we will see in qualifying in the next 15 minutes. Who will come out on top?
Yeah.
And where all the championship contenders will be.
But it'd be, Bruno's definitely going to try and take the fight, I think, to Morek's. Morek's hiding in the pits, hasn't done a time, but after seeing what he did on Sunday.
He does it usually. I think he practices a bit beforehand in a private server or something.
Yeah, agree.
Just like to get a couple of 3 laps in or something and just join before qualifying starts, so he doesn't.
Right, so we're ready.
Too much.
Yep, we're ready for qualifying, and as you say, it's an Audi lockout after practice. 4 tenths, nearly half a second quicker than Nils in the BMW, followed by Smallhand in the BMW, then another Audi, and then Sean. Cool.
But of course, we don't know who is on qualifying field and who might just be on race fuel or higher fuel loads, because it's free practice. Guess
what, Kobe? We're about to find out. All the nonsense stops now when we see who's got it and who hasn't. And it looks like Nico Buzov is the first one to come out, so we'll just follow him around.
He's always a bit eager.
Yeah. You don't have to tell me about that. So it's the first corner then at Crowthorne, and then what's this next corner called? I can't find it on my map.
You know it. It's Juxkay Sweep.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. And then into a corner that I'll definitely remember, Barbecue. I don't see any at the moment, but yep, looking.
Well, maybe look out for the fans. Maybe some have a barbecue out.
Yeah. Sean's enjoys a good. Well, I can't say that. So through Sunset and then into Clubhouse. This is quite a tricky corner. You need to not grab too much curb, but not run too wide. Then we head downhill, another tricky corner. You don't want to take too much speed into there, so you can carry the speed into this one, run wide. And then up to the Lukop, with a hairpin at the top of the hill before we start descending back down.
The exit out of that corner is especially important since you have such a long straight that will either gain you oil lap time or will lose you a lot.
Yeah, and then we go into turn 12, mine shaft, very bumpy on the entry. Pick a spot to brake for the crocodiles. I hope there's none about. And then we go into Cheetah,
which the name is as deadly as the corner is itself.
and into the final corner, Ingu. I don't know.
If any South Africans are listening,
I'm sorry.
Sorry for everything.
I've completely murdered your language there, I'm really sorry, but yeah, through the kink, and that's the lap. So let's see what Nico can do then. Let's switch to some TV cameras so we can see what's going on. Nico will be the first one across the line, so let's stick with him for the moment. Kobe will keep an eye on sector time so we'll be able to keep track of who's doing what. Nico a bit wide on the entry there, which put him wide on the curb for the back straight, which is pretty important. And this is a very, very tricky corner at sunset. But he'll just be looking to get a banker lap in and then improve on the final, his second lap. So who's your €1 on for pole position then, Kobe? Not that we condone betting at all, but if you had to.
It's definitely gonna be a tough one, but I think it will either be Morex or Nico, and I think I will put my money then on Nico since in qualifying he's usually a bit faster.
Okay, I'm gonna go Bruno, just because I don't like your choices.
You basically have a hatred towards the driver.
I'm not saying Nico after last week. He's lucky he's even on screen right now. But anyway, I love him really. So
he's
look,
lucky you didn't report him because I think then he would have a race ban.
Do you know what I mean? I owed him a favour for doing that because it was so hot in this room that I was quite glad to get out of it. But yeah, Nico across the line first then, and this is going to set the standard for everyone else.
No, he invalidated on the last corner.
No,
I was looking at it. He ran a bit wide, and I was like, I didn't want to say it because I couldn't see it really, but it was right on the edge of invalidation.
Hutch was fastest now, is basically his teammate, because I got the same livery, but not. Is Ray Thomas goes fastest, beaten then by Andy Cray. So Andy with a great time, 42.5. Aldori already struggling, down in fourth, 2 tenths off. Small Hand goes fastest now, and it's a BMW Lovin. It's the top 4. Popizzle goes fastest now on a 42.1. Anyone else? Let's see.
No, I'm looking back now at Marks, and he's now only
Sean.
preparing for his first lap.
Sean Cool, second place. That's a surprise. He'd be happy if he could stay there. 42.2, so he'll be quite happy with that, I think, for a start.
Yeah, definitely. But if I need a prediction, I think Paul will be in the high 40s. So he will definitely need to gain a lot more to...
Fair point. Tro goes into 12th. And we had the Bentley there as well. And that was Cameron Blair, but I think he's just starting a lap or invalidated, I would have said. That's MGK 41.7. So great lap from him. Bruno 41.6 takes it by a 10th. And we've got 95, that's Nico Buzov coming into the last corner, so we need to see if he can actually put a lap in now. So across the line. Come on, Nico. Doing this on purpose, mate. Oh, oh, it's updated now. Where's he gone?
I did,
no, he didn't. No, he didn't do a lap. Oh, for God's sake.
No, come on.
This guy should be reported.
There goes my €1, for fuck's sake.
No swearing, please.
Oh yeah.
That's £1 in the jar. Yep, so we're still waiting to see if anyone else improves. Popizzle goes into the pits. Bruno still fastest from NGK. Vanderval up to 3rd. That's a great run from him so far. And
Morix will be the next over the line. Let's see what he can do for his first lap.
Yep, I'll try and pick up Morix. There he is. And across the line. And where does he go?
First at the moment.
He goes first on a 41.5, 17 thousandths ahead of Nils, who also improved, so great lap from Nils. And he's looking quick in practice, to be fair. And then Bruno, MGK, Sean's in the hunt, really. Well, he was, until MGK did a 41.
And Nico is really not doing well. He has again validated his lap time, I see.
You've got to be joking, this guy. But anyway. And Blanche is pitted, and he is 14th. For keeping an eye on the newcomer. So still waiting for laps from Nico Buzov, who's invalidated again, as you say. Josh Clayton, Moggs must be 7 a quality bang because he hasn't gone out yet. How's Josh getting on? He's in the mid sector. Nico starting another lap now. Let's see the 4.33 Vanderbilt. He goes across the line.
And MGK at the moment fast with a 41.45.
Yep, we saw that. Just trying to keep across anyone else that might improve. We've got a 57 coming across the line, Fireblade. See if he can lower. Yeah, he does, up to 17th. Good work from Fireblade. Number 8, that's Will. Will the McLaren work for him around here. And that's moved him into the top 10 in 10th place.
And next is
Sean.
Let's
see if he can get up there again. Oh, he's improved. Nope. He's improved in time, but not a place. That's put him in range. So Sean's starting to find a bit of pace, and we're going to see Josh Clayton across the line as well, and he's moved up somewhere. 9th. Well done, Josh. That's a good lap, and he'll be pleased with that if it stays like that. Ice Dude across the line.
See what the Lexus can do.
Yep.
And he goes up to 18th at the moment.
18th. Petro, yep, and now he's going to go into the pits. That's probably most of the first runs done. Cameron Blair across the line, 17th.
Yeah.
Still Nico, no lap, but he's on a lap, so let's see.
He's on a lap now, so hopefully he doesn't invalidate it.
46 just crossed the line. Bruno, nope, didn't improve. So we'll keep an eye on Nico for a minute. Behind him is Vanderbilt, who's just gone off big time. Cheeto just went straight on into the barrier, so he'll pit. Right, Nico across the line. Can he produce a lap time?
Nope. You saw he was tentative in the last few corners. He is up to 6, but he's 6/10 off.
Okay, but
so
at least he's
definitely trying to get his first safety lap in now before he's gonna try anything.
It's fair enough. Stu Hutchinson's down to 10th because someone else has just improved. I think it might have been 174. I think that might have been Camille. No. No, it was maybe Ams actually, because Ams is now in the top 9. Yeah, it was Ams.
Yeah.
Ams definitely moved up there. Josh Clayton seems to be the next one that's on the lap that's going to come across the line. He's currently 12th. This is moving around very quickly. And there's a car backwards behind, and that's Small Hand in the BMW. And he'll return to the pits, I would hope. He's making sandcastles at the moment. But back on the road. So the top 12 all within a second at the moment. The 152 now coming across. That's Cameron Blair again in the big old Bentley. And that's a good lap. Moves him up to 16th place. And again we've got Bruno. Bruno goes to the top. 41.0. Give me my Euro.
It's not over yet, but there's still 5 minutes there.
And 34 as well across the line. Pop Izzle didn't improve. 16. Andy Krah is in 15th place. And then we've got a lot of cars coming around that just starting laps. Stuart Hutchinson is not one of them, though. He is on a lap, I believe.
And I'm looking for it, and I'm looking for my bet, and he has invalidated again. So I don't know if it's the pressure that gets him, or...
It's the pressure of you having money on it, I think. If you're watching, guys...
He doesn't know it, so hopefully not.
If you're watching, guys, and you're not horrified by what you're hearing, then just drop a like for us and subscribe to the channel if you're new. And wish to return after this. Damon Vanderbilt, he's having a really good session at the moment, 5th place. And MGK on a lap now. Just waiting to see 161. I don't think we've seen much of him. That is Ice Dude, and nice livery there. Coming into the last two corners through Cheetah, and then into the unpronounceable at the last corner. Currently 21st. It looked to do better than that, but that looked like a bit of a slow exit. Let's see if it does give him anything anyway, and it does. It moves him up into 19th, but there was definitely a bit more there for him. And 152 Cameron Blair again crossing the line, stays 16th. 34.
Morax is really pushing it at the moment.
Morax is flying. We'll get to him. Popizzle goes up to 6th. Right, let's follow Morax and see what happens there. He uses all the road on the exit. Can he knock Bruno off the pole position?
They improved
No.
that only a little.
No, he doesn't. So my Euro's looking safer by the minute here. Nils also having a fantastic session. Currently 4th on a lap into the last two corners. He's got 4-3-3 behind him, Damien van der Waal. So we'll cover both. Let's see how Nils gets on. And he goes 3rd. Van der Waal stays 5th. MGK's coming across. Stays 2nd. And I think that's Hutch just behind. He stays 11th. Sean's coming across the line. Yep. How's his sectors look, Kobe? Any?
I didn't really look at this at the moment because I'm still watching my €1 bet to see what he is doing.
Yep, and he's next across the line actually.
Yes. And
he goes fastest. Yeah, that had to happen, didn't it?
My prediction of lap time is coming true as well, within the high 40s.
Nico, me and you are going to fall out. Great lap from Ice Dude, actually. Just moved up a lot of places into 11th. And yeah, that's really, really impressive. 420s, small handies across the line in 14th. Next lap is Aldori. Now he really needs a lap. He's 10th at the moment. That's no good to him at all. He needs to be ahead of. He needs to be at least ahead of Sean. And he doesn't do it. And he's got fuel for another lap by the sounds of it. Josh Clayton's next in 13th place. Now he could really upset Aldori by getting in front of him. Doesn't though, unfortunately for him. Will's just starting a lap. So the next one on a lap is Camille. Down in 19th. He's really not got on with this Mercedes, and he seems to be holding up.
The combination tracking car, I think, isn't really helping him.
Yeah, he seems to be holding up Nils there, and Nils won't be happy with that. We'll have to keep an eye on Nils as well. Nils stays 3rd. They may have got held up there. Van der Waal stays 6th at the same time. 22, that's Hutch. How's he doing? Stays 12th, but time for one more lap. Then it's Sean in 8th place right now. Could really do a bit more than that. Doesn't do it. And then
will Nico be able to put
Mr.
himself on more of a gap?
Mr. Sandbag
Nope,
doesn't improve. The 420. Let's see how Small Hand does then out the corner. He had a lot of pace in practice. Let's see if he can replicate that now. And he could add to the misery of the. No, he doesn't. He stopped.
Bruno messed up Sheeta corner. He went into the gravel, so his qualifying is over.
Right, Aldori's last chance. He needs this lap to get into at least the top. He needs to get ahead of Sean, like we said. That would be a really good target. Let's see if he can do it across the line. This is his last lap.
And
he goes 9th.
Right behind him.
He goes 9th.
So they will start side by side, which is at least something instead of starting behind
this is
him.
really, really adding to the drama. Then Ray Thomas is next. We haven't shown much of him, so let's see him now in the 58. The number of the late great Marco Simoncelli, and that's how Simoncelli used to ride, actually, sideways. So nice, Ray. Points for style there, mate. Behind that is Camille.
Yeah, he knows it's over.
So Camille's next, but we're going to watch MGK because he is a threat for pole position. Then we have Sean Cole and then Buzov, so we'll see. MGK stays 4th place.
which is still a great time for the
That
Ferrari
is
if you look at it.
fantastic for a Ferrari around here, got to be honest with you. Sean needs this as well. All he needs is a 10th to go into 7th place, and that would really help him. And he did it. He did it. He's up to 7th place.
Up to 7th.
But he's 9/10 off the Audis. Ouch.
Yeah, it's a bit like the drivers predicted in the interview you asked them.
Yeah, it did seem pretty accurate actually.
The BMWs did a bit worse than the drivers expected by the looks of it. Only Niels managed to get into the top. Niels managed to get into the top 10, and then Ray Thomas as well got barely into the top 10.
Yeah, you're right. Niels was brilliant actually. He was constantly up there, and to beat MGK as well is pretty impressive. And Morex, I think underachieved.
Morex made life for himself tougher for the championship now.
Well, let's be honest, we really thought he was going to walk this tonight, so that is going to make it.
I expect him to be up there with Bruno and Buzov.
Sean will be starting just behind Morex, and Aldo will be starting just behind Sean. So that is. Do you want any more drama? Well, there you got it. So that's going to be that's set up nicely for us. So we'll go through the qualifying results when this actually goes to a page where I can actually do it.
The only thing that might be concerning for Sean is that he's still 5/10 over the lap time that Morex put in, so that might be something he will be thinking about for strategy, what he can do.
Our newcomer Blonge, yep, in 19th place.
Not bad to be fair for the first time in the pro server.
I think he'd be happy with that.
Yeah. Maybe with the BMW I expected a bit more, but.
Yeah, obviously there's nerves involved, and you're just trying to find your feet. You don't want to get anyone's way or anything. So yeah, respectable definitely. Any other standout performances you can see? I mean, Van der Poel's 6th was good. Neil's definitely very impressive.
Pospisil is still right where he always is, at right around P8, P9.
Careful saying Pospisil because you've sworn once already. But yeah, good effort from him.
Yeah, I think Niels definitely stands out the most in the qualifying.
Yeah, I agree. Good lap from Ray Thomas, 10th place as well. Josh should be happy with 13th actually. He's not that 10th or so, and he's further up.
He has been busy this season.
Will's probably without getting myself sacked.
He's not happy with it.
He just wants the season over, doesn't he?
Yeah. He has had a very unfortunate season, especially with what happened at Misano.
Yeah.
I think that was one of the worst things to happen.
If you don't know, Will is actually a very, very impressive driver, so he's just literally struggling with that car. So, yeah, you can test it in pre-season and think you've got the hang of it, but then when it comes to the race action, maybe you haven't. So let's just go through qualifying. So yeah, we've got Nico and Bruno on the front row. Niels and MGK start on row 2. First of the championship rivals, Morex starts 5th, which is a surprise to us. He's joined by Damien van der Poel, so 4 Audis in the top 6.
And Sean will be very happy to see that the car right in front of him will be Morex.
Well, we know Sean very well, and I think that will energise him.
That will definitely help.
He's on the next row 4. With
yes.
Václav Pospisil. Then we had Ahmed Aldori with Ray Thomas. Obviously, Am's also the third of the championship contenders. I'm ruling out MGK until something else happens, really. Then we got.
He will hate us for saying it, but
yeah, he knows deep down we're right.
Yeah.
Row 6, Ice Dude and Stuart Hutchinson, Josh Clayton and Small Hand on row 14. Row 14? Place 14. I think I'll just go with positions. Will Friedman 15th, Andy Cray 16th, Cameron Blair 17th, Kamil Machkowski in 18th, Blonge 82 in 19th, Tro 246 in the Lexus, the awesome Lexus. We've got to go on board with that at some point. Fireblade in 21st, and Moggs bring up the rear, but I think must have a quali ban. MGK in the chat saying thanks for taking over the comms box. That's no worries, mate. Missing you guys on the track. Have fun in this showdown. Well, good luck to you, mate.
I don't think he heard us trash talking him, because otherwise he would have had ever said that.
We didn't trash talk him, we're just pointing out the obvious.
Yeah, the obvious.
Which is what we're good at. If it was complicated, we wouldn't understand.
Yeah, Lewis, we're doing our best. We will see what the next 90 minutes will bring.
No, you don't do yourself an injustice, Lewis. You're good at comms, mate. And looking forward to, well, actually we'll promote it now, the Indy 8 hours on Saturday. Full commentary lineup through the whole 8 hours, and a full grid as well, and some really fast teams there actually. Apex Online Racing, a couple from SBR, our guys, the FRL admin team. Can you think of any others? French Connection.
Yeah, French Connection will be up there. The Czech console team racing will also be there.
VRL, yep. And Jota VRL. 20 seconds to go then before the guys will head off on the formation lap. Well, this couldn't be any better. I really did think Morix would walk this, but it doesn't seem so. And I know Sean's strategy, but I'm not allowed to say anything yet, so... but I will.
Thanks, Lewis, for letting us
Yeah,
know.
thanks for killing us there, Lewis. Yeah, I don't want to do it anymore. But apparently guys doing low 35s in the practice session right now, so... Yeah, that's quite a bit faster than I hoped.
Yeah. But it's the same as we had here with the practice session. You don't know who's doing what. Is somebody doing full fuel for the race? Is somebody testing their qualifying pace for Friday? You don't really know. So that will also be seen on Saturday when that race will unfold.
So obviously these guys need to pit twice. Now the common strategy, the most used probably, is to pit halfway, change your tyres, add fuel to the end of the race, but then spit. They call it splash and dash, but it's not even that really. Just pit.
It's just pit and go.
Pit and go, yeah. Stop and go basically. You don't add fuel. You don't change your tyres. Car goes up.
You just let a drop of fuel in it.
Yeah.
And
well, you don't even do that. You can literally just go in, no fuel. Car goes up. Car goes down, and you're out. So that's the common strategy. The other strategy, I mean, when I did at Bathurst, pitted lap 1 just to get myself clean air, even though I was leading. You figure that out. And then you can put in good laps, pit halfway, and then drive to the end. So there's plenty of options. So this is why I quite like this 90-minute race. It's gives a bit more strategy to it.
Yeah, I think definitely the championship contenders will be thinking about what they can do now, knowing where they start after qualifying, where all the others are from, where Marek starts, where Sean starts, and where Ahmed or M starts. They will definitely be thinking now what they can do best for strategy-wise and for in the first lap to try and overtake the others.
Yeah, I think time to get the turn 6 sunset, they'll all be thinking what the best strategy is for them. But so it's going to be MGK Ferrari against Morex in the Audi, against Sean Cool in the Mercedes, and Ahmed Aldori also in the Mercedes. Stay tuned because this could go either way. So little points between them. Yeah, honestly I don't know at this point. You just feel like something big is going to happen in this race.
It's not for nothing that we call it a season finale. So
yeah,
it will definitely bring something exciting towards us commentators and hopefully the people watching the stream.
Well, we've picked it up now, mate, so something's got to happen. Well, I'll cover the first half of the grid. Kobe will keep an eye on the back, so we shouldn't miss too much. And yeah, we'll cover the start with the front guys, and then we'll figure out what's happening at the back, because there's bound to be something going on. Hopefully guys get through there cleanly, but it's racing, anything can happen. I think we'll follow.
Especially when you put 22 competitive drivers next stern to stern with each other. Yeah, it will definitely give some sparks.
All those nice comments in the preview are now out the window, because it's time to stop talking and start racing, and the green light is about to come on for the championship showdown here at Kyalami. Nico Busov will lead us away. Bruno next to him. When you're ready. Green lights, off we go. Nico gets a pretty good start. I think Bruno's chasing him down to the corner. Bruno's on the outside line. It seems to have it made. Morex making a move down the inside of Nils. And he's a little bit of a collision there, was there? Let's see.
Few drivers going wide.
Yeah, few wide MGK, and it looked like Van Voorn.
Oh,
Sean's off. I think Sean's gone off.
There's
Has
a
he?
big
No.
crash behind.
Okay, we'll come back to that.
Sean, I saw Sean in the preview, but there's a big crash behind.
Yeah, it looks
We'll
like
just have to wait for the time screen to update.
it looks like MGK's Andy Krah was involved in that. I can see him. So let's see who comes through the first sector leading. Nico leads. Bruno from Morex in third. He's already up to third, so it's an Audi 123. And here they come then up into Lukop. Pit lane is open for Judy, so who will do what? Aldori's made a fantastic start. He's 6th place.
And he basically did what he needed to do, get ahead of Sean for his championship dreams. So now he basically needs to try to stay with Audi's head.
We're on board with Nico. Bruno very, very close. He could make a move here into the hairpin. Doesn't. Thinks better of it. Plenty of time to go. So it is Nico from Bruno. Morex is in third. Brilliant for his championship. Nils made a good start. Dropped one position though. MGK in the hunt. They look like contact with him and another car, and also Cool was involved as well. Aldori, brilliant start to 6th. Sean 7th. Cool.
Sean is going into the pit lane, so he's apparently trying your strategy that you said. Maybe he hurt you.
Yep, I did tell him to do that and he has listened, so let's see. That'll bring Sean into contention later on, but we won't know until the last few minutes who
Will
is doing
as
what.
well, but I think that's for damage wise.
Yeah, I would say Will's for damage and Josh Clayton also possibly for damage, but we need to see how long he's stopped for.
The back half of the field, like P15 down, it was a bit of chaos with a car joining back on track from the outside.
Yeah, Ray Thomas was definitely involved, Pop Izzle involved, Andy Krah involved, Moggs. Don't think so because he started last.
No,
but
Small Hand as well, because he started P3 and we saw him running wide in turn 1, or sorry, it's officially turn 2.
Yeah. So Nico leads away, but he's not getting away from Bruno, and Morex hanging on in there as well. These guys just put a little bit of space between themselves and Nils. MGK looking threatening on the back of that BMW, and then we have Aldori. Can he stay with these guys? He's just dropping off a little bit. And Vandervool as well in 7th place, so that's your top 7. Then we've got a bit of a gap back to Ice Dude. Kamil Machkowski, he's in 9th. Cameron Blair in 10th. Tro, let's go on board, in 11th. Listen to that. And he's got the newcomer Blanche just behind him, just gone a little bit deep there on the brakes. Stuart Hutchinson in 13th, so he's dropped a little bit. Small Hand 14th, Fireblade in 15th, Moggs in 16th, Andy Krah 17th, Popizzle in 18th, Ray Thomas 19th, Sean on his own in 20th. He's probably a little bit closer to the back of the pack than he wanted to be.
Yeah, I just wanted to point it out. I think he will be catching the back a bit quicker than he expected, and it will be then up to him to see how quickly he can get rid of the slower drivers and hopefully...
Aldorian. Let's see where he comes out compared to Sean. He's done the stop and go, the splash. We'll call it a stop and go because there's no fuel involved. So he's done his stop and go, and off he goes. That'll put him down to 1, and Sean goes past. Sean has gone past him, so I think that's a gain for Sean.
Yeah, that's definitely a gain for Sean.
And Nico Buzov sets the fastest lap on lap 2, and you can see he's just stretched a little bit on Bruno.
Yeah,
not much.
He gained, I think, 2/10 this lap, so he will be stretching his legs a bit more, but we will see what Bruno can give as a response to that.
It's a good battle here between these guys, Tro, Stuart Hutchinson, Blanche, and Small Hand with Fireblade just off the back of it, and Moggs catching because he started last. Hello to Fitzy in the chat. How you doing, mate?
And behind Tro there's a huge train forming with now Hutch trying to overtake him.
Yeah, we're showing that now. So Hutch around the outside, great move, and that's going to free him up and into the top 10 as well. Just ahead of him now is Machkowski.
And now the newcomer Blunch will try his chance with Tro.
Let's see Will he look one way than the other? No, he's going to try and go around the outside. Let's see from the helicopter how he's getting on. Hasn't pulled that off.
He needed to back out of it.
Yeah. At the front, Bruno now sets fastest lap as the gap's down to 3/10 of a second. We'll try and show all of this, but as you can imagine, it's going to be crazy.
It's going to be tough.
Bruno looks to have found his pace. Now his tyres are in, and he is looking like he's using a lot less track. Morex seems to be struggling to keep the pace at the moment. Just dropping off the back.
And he seems to be a bit wide there on the exit.
Andy Kraas made his first pit stop as well. And I would suspect he had a little bit of damage because this is not a stop and go. When I say stop and go, I don't mean penalty.
There will be a few cars that will be thinking about pitting after a few laps, seeing that the damage is a bit more than they expected.
Yep, so we'll try and keep an eye on that, but I want to show a few of the battles. So you got Van der Waal just gone wide actually, MGK.
And he's hunting MGK down in the Ferrari.
Yeah, he is hunting him down, just gone wide though. At Clubhouse.
And C-Player following Camille as well closely.
Yep, the beautiful Bentley. Ooh, he's got sideways there though on the transition. The car didn't like that at all. And Small Hand as well, right up behind Tro, and he still is. So let's go on board with Tro and have a look at what's going on here.
I think the Lexus definitely has a bit of damage. You can see the slightly grayer lines on the front end of the nose of the car. So
yeah, that means Blanche has also got through there. We missed that. Sorry to him for missing that, but yeah, there's chaos everywhere at the moment. Sean then's got 5 seconds on Aldori, so Aldori must have taken some fuel, I would have thought. But we need to keep an eye on those guys as MGK pits now. Will this be one of those
So there will definitely be a few switches, and now it will be interesting to see if Sean comes out ahead of him or not.
Yeah, we'll follow him, but this MGK's taking a bit of fuel by the looks of it because he's taking longer.
I think Morex has made a mistake because Morex is suddenly 4 seconds off the top 2.
He really has, yeah. Nils is now in his mirrors. Yep, Van der Waal as well because it's been unleashed because of MGK's pit stop. MGK's definitely taken fuel, and he's taken quite a lot of fuel because he's still stationary. Strange strategy, that one. It's a bold strategy, Con. Let's see if it pays off. But Nico now and Bruno have the track to themselves. So these guys not fighting for a championship. They don't care. They just want to literally win the race.
They just want bragging rights.
Yeah, they want bragging rights, of course. First Audi home. The 95. Rothko, Golf liveried. Audi leads the way out ahead of the blue and yellow. Audi of Bruno. Canavera. Yes, I had to go at that. Marks though, it'd be slightly concerned about the mistake. I don't know where it was, but I suspect it was at Cheetah, which we're coming up to now.
Yeah, probably. Running just a bit wide can easily lose you 2-3 seconds there. Yep. But in the end, he shouldn't be fighting for the win. Like, he just needs to bring it home ahead of Sean and with a fast lap, or with 2 places ahead of Sean, so he doesn't need to think per se of the win. He just needs to drive a steady race and try to finish as high as possible.
Of course, he doesn't know where Sean is right now. He may think he's retired from the race or had an accident or something, because with Sean's strategy or cool strategy,
and Ahmed did the same thing. So he's basically basically both just lost in space. We will call it for Morex.
Yeah, Ice Dude pits. Does he do this stop and go thing? No, he's taking on fuel. And he's away, so that was about a 5-6 seconds, but now he's not actually moving.
And there's already quite a big gap between the top 5 and then P6.
So I think Ice Dude there messed up his pit stop because the car went up a couple times there. So who has done the pit stop? The first pit stop. So we got Sean Cool leading the way on that. Ahmed Aldori behind him in 17th. Will Friedman, Ice Dude, MGK, Josh Clayton and Andy Gray have done their first pit stops. MGK we think took a lot of fuel on, so let's go back to the lead battle because it's heating up. If it could heat up any more than this room right now.
Well, I think that's a common issue all around Europe now.
But I'm English, I'm not used to it. I go red. I lobster up. Yeah,
that sounds funny to see.
You don't want to see that. Bruno taking some chances there on the curb. Now he's got Nico slightly defending into the last corner, but he's still not close enough.
Nearly 3 wide for P11 at the moment.
Okay, we'll go and check that out shortly. I just want to...
But Alex is still trying to hang on as much positions as possible.
Yeah, if you keep an eye on that battle, mate, and let me know anything happens, because Bruno thinks about sending it into turn 1, but Nico has that covered and politely slams the door in his face, if there's a way of doing that. So, oh, and it looks like Tro's made a mistake, because through goes Popizzle and
he went a bit wide in
Maltz.
sheet and ran on the gravel.
Small Hands also got through earlier, and now he's going to have problems with Fireblade.
Fireblade and R. Thomas right behind him.
And then behind that is Sean Cool, the first of the pit stop guys. He needs to get through this lot very quickly.
Yeah, and it will be quite a tough task with having 5 cars so close to each other.
Tro tried to send it on Moggs, but got his braking a little bit wrong and nearly went into the back of the Ferrari. Up front is still Nico ahead of Bruno, so you don't need to worry about that for the moment. And Morek's just chipping away at them. Obviously, while they're battling, he's taking 4 attempts out of them.
Yeah, and at the moment, like C. Blair and the Bentley still trying to make an impression on the Mercedes of Camille.
What do you think Cool and Aldori will be thinking about all this traffic in front of them? I think they hoped they wouldn't see it
They
so
hoped
soon.
they would have been farther away from the traffic, since you need a lot of free air to try and make that strategy really work. Because if you are battling with people your same pace, you're not potentially losing as much as catching the back marks who might be a second or 2 off the pace of the front running guys.
Yeah, this is a nice little battle as well. Cameron Blair in the Bentley, just behind Mochkowski. Oh, Camille getting it pretty wrong in the Cheetah corner there. Cheetahs never win.
And Sean is now right onto the back of the 3-car train, so we will see how quickly he can dispose of those cars.
Right, so the Lexus pits, by the looks of it. I'm sure I saw him just shoot off into the pits. Yes, he has.
Yes, he is.
So, can Sean deal with this traffic? Let's find out. Has the Mercedes got the legs? Well, that BMW looks like it's pulling away on the straight to me. Let's see then. He literally has to arrive and just pass them straight away. I'm keeping an eye on the other battles.
He's gonna try to set something up, because I don't think he has the straight line speed to pass the BMWs so simply.
No, it doesn't look like it. Oh, that's a mistake.
That's
a mistake from the BMW, so now surely he can pounce. No, he can't. He actually probably had to back off, if anything.
Yeah,
Stop and go for Tro.
Well.
Stop and go 30 seconds, that's speeding in the pit lane for Tro. That's his race ruined.
Yes, yeah. It's 90 minutes, or now only an hour and 15 minutes left, but that will definitely ruin his chances of getting a decent result here.
Right, I'll go back to the lead battle then, Kobe, and you keep an eye on Cool and Aldori's progress.
How he goes on. And Fireblade is letting them both through, so he feels like he's not fighting them at the moment.
Yeah, that's probably a wise move, to be honest. If you're down that way and you feel like it's gonna cost you time.
Yeah.
By making mistakes, it's not a bad shout, that, to be fair. So we kind of got 2 races. We got the Nico Bruno fight. We got Morex sort of hanging on to them, but slower. But we also got the Cool and Aldori trying to blitz back through the field.
And then Camille fighting with Cameron Blair and Hutchin as well.
So Hutch has joined that as well then, yep.
Yeah, if you fight long enough, the guys behind you will definitely start catching you, because you're taking way too much. So
Fitzy in the chat saying he thinks Sean and Aldori will be cursing their strategy at the moment. Well, we have to see how it pans out. If he can get through the traffic pretty quickly, then it's not such a big deal. Camille has a bad exit there. Now Cameron Blair's all over him. Can he send the Bentley around the outside? It's risky, but it can be done. You need a bit of cooperation. Let's see how he goes. He's left each other a lot of space off the curb from Camille, and look at that from Cameron Blair. But absolutely brilliant. Just kept his foot in and got it done. And now Hutchinson smells blood and he's through as well. And it won't be long until the new guy, Blanche, sorry, I was trying to make sure I got it right, Blanche 82 comes through. So disaster there for Camille. And he drops back 3 positions in the blink of an eye. But that is GT3 racing for you.
And Sean at the moment isn't making an impression on Ray Thomas. He's even losing a bit of time to him, so he might be cursing his advisory boys, like you say, Jack, but in the end it's a long race and you will only really know at the end of the race how the strategy will work out.
Yeah, Morex actually closed it in. Another few attempts there on the lead too. 3.7 the gap last time I checked, it was 4.2, so I don't know if you can see lap times, Kobe, or not, but Vandervoort as well is caught onto the back of Nils, and with the Audi speed on the straight, surely he'll be able to think about a move at some point. And we've got Hutch, Blair and all that in a long line as well. Look at this for a mess. As I head into turn 1, so we've got Blair in the Bentley, Hutchinson in the BMW, Blanche in the BMW, Small Hand just off the back in the BMW, and then Camille just on the back of the group, as it were. And Morex again taking another couple attempts, so he's starting to get into his stride now. Sean now right up behind Ray Thomas, according to the intermediate. He doesn't seem like...
He doesn't seem to make an impression on him.
No, I thought he'd be all over the back of him. In fact, Aldori's coming closer to Sean.
Aldori's slowly catching him. But yeah, we will need to see how quick, if Sean first can get rid of the BMW in front of him.
Yeah, Morex is definitely closer on these two. I can see it. So they head up to Cheetah, you can see Morex in the background.
And Van der Waal is still trying to get past Nils at the moment.
Well, we'll keep an eye on all of it, and then if something happens we can jump to it. But this is an interesting fight. You just get feeling that Bruno, if he could get past, he would just edge away from Nico.
I think, yeah. Or it might just be that because of the slipstream, he might be able to stay with him on the straight. You never know.
It does seem like the run down into turn 1, and he seems slightly better on the brakes into that corner, so that could be where it happens. Or you need a mistake from Buzov. I think Nico's actually won a race this season. I think it was Snetterton actually. Yep, it was Snetterton.
Yeah, he won Snetterton.
And other than that, though, he's had a really mixed season.
The rain didn't help him in the Audi.
Every time it rained, he knew
he was complaining.
Yep, he was complaining a lot. Wachkowski pits, he'll have to fix some damage. That helps Sean and Ahmed Aldori move up.
I know it will be the question if Ahmed Aldori can catch up to Sean or not.
So Morex loses a bit more time actually, so he's just lost 6-7 attempts. I'd say that was a slight mistake.
And Van der Waal is through on...
we missed
Nils.
it.
I just missed. I saw that he was a 10 behind suddenly.
Yeah.
Since I was watching the fight for P6 at the moment.
Yep, that's fine. I would imagine it happened just after the first sector. Like you say, they were a tenth apart, so maybe sent it around the outside. So it's a shame we missed that. It's close at the front. 2 temps now.
That's the only downside with fighting with against the same car. You have the same advantage and the same downsides, so it's basically all on the driver to find something.
Yeah. He's very close now. They're going on the straight. This could be his best chance so far. He'll get the slipstream down into Crowthorne.
I don't think he's making enough of an impression.
Bruno's one that will send it though. And yeah, he just shows his nose again like he has done really the last few laps. When
he's trying to put the other driver off a bit, showing the nose.
Blanche is now right behind Hutch, who's right behind Blair. Small Hand just hanging on to this. But again, I'm surprised that Cool and Aldori are not all over the back of Thomas and actually trying to get past him. So obviously the BMW must be pretty good around here.
And Bruno's now really putting the pressure on to Nico to try and make him to make a mistake on him.
Yeah.
So yeah, we will see if it will happen or if Nico can stay with the pressure and keep defending flawlessly.
But with one thing we haven't mentioned actually, Kobe is the fastest lap. Currently Bruno has it, but that's 2 points. So that could really...
That's an important one for Morex that he needs to get if he basically wants to secure his grip on the championship.
Yeah, I think only the Audi drivers really can get that fastest lap with the 1 lap pace they have.
Yeah, and we can definitely see it now with being the top 4 being an Audi. So we definitely see who has more race pace at the moment.
I'm still struggling to figure out what MGK did with his strategy. I mean, I don't know whether he's going to go real long now, but...
If he goes real long, it would be a weird strategy since he will be losing out definitely.
I don't really understand why he stopped so long for like a splash really, but maybe he knows something we don't. It won't be the first time.
But it's a weird one.
Yeah, because if you just take tyres, it's still 30 seconds, so yeah. I don't really quite understand that one, but what do we know? We're up here talking. Just trying to find out about Hutch.
Meanwhile, Sean is still behind Thomas, but he's putting a bigger gap between him and Ahmed. Ahmed lost like 5/10 over the span of the last 3 laps. So I think Thomas is just putting a pace that Sean finds okay still to be driving behind.
Yeah, Hutch is... yeah, I see what you're saying, mate. Hutch has got past Blair, and now Blanche is all over the back of Blair. Impressive debut this from Blanche.
Yeah, because he started, if I remember correctly, somewhere P19 or something.
Yeah, I think it was.
So he's definitely put up a good first couple of laps too.
Yeah, I think he looks like he could get past that Bentley at some point. But still, no impression from the 2 Mercedes guys. These guys have been up there in every race, but they are finding it a bit of a struggle here at Kyalami. They both decided to pit very early in the race, but only 13th and 14th right now, which is fair enough because they did pit on the first laps, but making no impression. And we've got to give credit to Ray Thomas, to be honest with you, because to keep those guys behind him just shows that he is running a good pace himself, and he's actually not that far behind Moggs.
No, he's putting decent pace, and so that's making it even more difficult for the strategy of the other 2 guys to work.
Yeah, Marks doesn't have an answer for these guys when they're running and when they're not trying to fight.
Yeah, no, he just lost 4 tenths, I think.
Bruno very deep into turn 1, just avoided contact with Buzov there, but...
That's the last thing I think Bruno would want, because then they will both lose time, either through a penalty or he needs to wait up for Nico, and then Marks will be right back on the scene.
Yeah, so Jack in the chat saying he thinks the Audis, the Beamers and the Astons would be the fastest here, but yeah, you're right, there is no Astons here, so we can't gauge that pace. As Camille gets out of the way, he just wants to get out of that Mercedes, doesn't he?
I think it might not be the car for him.
No. Hopefully he's not using it in the race on Saturday.
Yes, he is, he's my teammate.
Oh, sorry, mate. I'm sure it'll be fine.
We will see what he does. We try to make a setup that works for everybody.
Yep, sorry mate, I had to cut across you there. Bruno's very closely trying to send it into there, but a contact. Contact in the back of Buzov. That's a little reminder that I'm here. I think he knows that by now, because your car's not exactly incognito.
No, it isn't. But Bruno, Nico's isn't either, with the nicely golf colored delivery.
And he's thought about that as well. Bruno just needs to calm himself down. He does this sometimes, just gets a little bit too hyped up.
Yeah, he gets too excited and might make a mistake.
Oh, there he is. Oh, right on cue. It's like we know the guy too well. Come on, Bruno, keep your head together, man. Let's have a race here. And, well, that's cost him at least a second there, I would have said. And it has, yep, he's a second behind. So we need to regroup and get back in the game. Vanderwall, though, having a great race. We need to point that out. He's moved himself up through the field and into 4th place now. Having passed Nils, he's sort of edging away. I wouldn't say he's like dropping him quickly, but you can see Nils is tucked into his
trying to just keep up as good as he can at the moment, I think.
And Camille back in the pits, he might call it a day. And obviously Tro, with that big damage that he had on the Lexus, he's pretty much a back marker as well now. So it's really 20 guys running competitively at the moment. And again, MGK, I'm still struggling to get my head around that one. Sean making no progress, and Aldori starting to close back in on him. But now we'll see what Bruno's pace is actually, Kobe, because if he closes that 1 second up in this lap, then we know that he's got a big advantage.
Yep.
And he's already doing that. It's 8 temps. And we've got another sector coming up soon, I think.
Yeah, another
Yeah, now. 7 temps. So he's taken 3 temps. So yeah, he has definitely got pace to burn.
He's probably like 4 or 5 tenths a lap quicker at the moment.
And Morex also cannot discount him now, 3 seconds behind. He keeps like gaining and then losing like a second here and there, and then he'll gain it all back again. It's kind of strange. Just take a drink there, but I think small hand. Oh, hang on a minute. 0.5, so he took half a second. So Jack, just to tell you on the championship, Sean leads by 2 points. There's 2 points difference between first and second in this race, and third and fourth. There's like a points difference, so you get 40 for a win, 38, 36. 2 points for a fastest lap. So Sean leads by 3 points.
3 points.
3 points.
3 points to Morex and Ahmed Aldori as well.
But currently they are down in 13th and 14th right now and struggling to get past Ray Thomas in his BMW. Sean looks pretty close there.
But there are alternate strategies, we can't forget that. So it will be really on the last half hour that we will start to see what it will be. But at the moment, I think Morex has more pace and they aren't really gaining on him with the other strategy.
Morex, in fact, is now starting to close in on Bruno. And Bruno's closing in on Buzov, so we could have a 3-way fight for the lead again soon. Damien van der Waal, like I said, doing a great job in 4th. Nils likewise in 5th, and he's hanging on to Damien. And there's a big gap back to Hutch.
It might be time for Bruno, if he really can get past Nico, to just do an undercut.
Yeah, maybe get to the hour mark and think about that. It definitely needs to do something different to change the outcome of this race for him, because he's already shown that he can't get past without a mistake.
And a mistake here can be a few seconds, but it can also cost you a lot with going into the wall.
Yeah, it's a good track for overtaking. It can be done, but I think when you're in the same car, it makes it a lot harder. To answer your question, Jack, basically winner takes all, really. If Morex finishes ahead of Sean, then but if it's only by one position, then Sean will still win the championship. But the way it's looking right now, I think Morex has got the advantage.
Got one hand on the title, we will say.
Yeah, so far.
Oh, and somebody, I don't know who, I think it's the
34.
Audi of
That's
Popsicle, crashed out of Cheetah. I was watching the battle with
big damage. I think there's big damage on. Look at the front of that Audi. It looks like it's been in a ram raid. Be careful, there's cars coming. You might be able to get it spun now before the 161 comes through. No, he's decided not to. That's wise. And that is huge damage, and that's going to be a lengthy pit stop for Popsicle. That's a shame, because qualified well, was running well.
He was doing well in 10th at the moment.
Yeah, he was nothing too crazy, but so Hutch, no man's land in 6th at the minute. Then Cameron Blair with Heat behind him. He seems to have been in a battle since the start of this race. He's now got Small Hand and Blonged behind him. I think Small Hand's got past Blonged, actually. Sean now right behind Ray Thomas. So let's see what happens now then. Now he's got a little bit closer. Keeping an eye on the lead battle as well. You need eyes everywhere in this. Right, so looks like Sean got a good run through those two corners.
He got a good run here.
Can he send it up the inside of Ray? Ray won't fight it too much, I don't think. Oh, Ray's covering it well.
He was thinking about it.
Aldori's not able to close in though. That's the surprise, even though these guys are fighting. Nils.
At the moment it looks like Nico is still running away a bit more, because Bruno's back down to 8 tenths.
Yeah, that mistake from Bruno's kind of like dented his charge slightly, I would say. Best way of putting it. But Sean needs to get on with this, because yeah, he Blanche and Small Hand pits as well, so that's 2 more cars out of the way. Now he's got a good run now. He has a good run. And
so it now will be up to if the car is fast enough in the straight line.
Well, he just has to send it, really, because he can't spend all day behind that BMW. He's too far back. Nope, he's too far back. He just doesn't seem to have the top speed there. keep an eye on that. Back to the lead battle just to see what the gap is.
7/10 still at the moment. Oh, 8/10 now. So yeah, Nico is slightly improving his times now compared to Bruno. And Morix just stays steadily the 3 seconds behind that, so he's just running his own race at the moment. But Niels is catching back up to Van der Wal at the moment as well. He's now only 3/10 behind him.
Yeah, I just noticed that before. I was interrupted by my daughter actually. Yeah, Niels was definitely closing back in, so he's not done with this yet.
Luckily, I don't have that problem yet.
And Sean's through on Ray Thomas. So now what can he do? Can he go after Moggs? And can Aldori do the same? Is he going to be inspired by that and move up through as well? And Morix also still fighting strong. He's not going to give up on this win as well. I think he can still go for it.
Yeah, he can. He will definitely be able to, if he can just stay consistent with it like he's doing at the moment.
We won't forget MGK either, because it's a strange strategy, but maybe he knows something we don't, and that wouldn't be unusual.
Yeah, because you know all Mr. weird strategies.
Yeah, Neil's definitely coming back at the Audi of Van der Wal.
I think the BMW might be better on tires than the Audi.
Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me. We know the Lamborghini's not that great on tyres, so maybe the Audi's very similar. So, and now Niels looks down the inside. Can he get it done into the whatever it's called?
Leuk.
That's what I said. No, we can't. Kicks up the dust on the exit.
And it looks like Nico had a shocking last lap because Bruno is right back up to his bumper.
Morix still hanging around in the background. He gets closer every time I look, but it kind of stays the same for a couple of laps, and then he'll take a bite.
And then he gains back, and then it goes backwards a bit. He's back to 3 seconds, so it's a bit of a jigsaw.
Yeah. So let's run through the field at the moment then. So Nico leading, just ahead of Bruno. Just watch them go onto the back straight here because this is an overtaking opportunity. Nope, they're fine.
But he's too far away at the moment.
Morix in third, just keeping a watching brief, but slightly edging in, doing the right job actually for Morix. Very mature drive so far. Van der Wal fourth, but with Niels right behind him, even though he passed him earlier. Great race from these two. Hutchinson quite a way back in sixth now. Moggs up from the back to 7th.
Down.
Yeah, 22 is a fair bit. Moggs in 7th from the back of the field. Literally the back. And he's got ahead of Cameron Blair. I can hear a slow moving car somewhere.
Yeah, I'm looking, but I can't see a yellow flag or a white flag or something, so...
I heard something that sounded like it was moving slow, like a BMW. But no, okay. Sean now up to 9th place, pitted already. First of the pit stop ease, I guess you could say, ahead of Ray. And then we've got Ahmed Aldori in 11th, also pitted, as has Will, who's 13th. Fireblade 14th, hasn't pitted yet. Ice Dude in 14th has, MGK 15th has, and took a lot of fuel. Josh Clayton in 16th, Andy Cross 17th, Blonged in 18th has made a pit stop now, and as has Smallhand. And then we've got Pop Izzle with that massive crash at Cheetah. He's in 20th, followed by Tro, and Mashkowski's just going around for the, well, just to say hello to the fans, I would have thought. But yeah, he's a couple laps down now.
Yeah, and Bruno doesn't seem to be making an impression on Nico, so he'll definitely need to think about a different strategy to try and get ahead of him.
Yeah, I agree with you. There's no point sitting there. I mean, we're under the hour mark now, so you could try and do something like pit now and then maybe pit with 15 minutes to go or something. You could put your new tyres on now, they'd last an hour. The track temperature's 30 to 30 degrees, so yeah.
And now at the moment Sean will be trying to get his way past the Bentley of C. Blair and see if that one goes a bit quicker than Ray Thomas.
Well, no, well, it's Moggs in the pits as well. Aldori's pitting again, so Aldori's going to try and go to the end now.
That's a really weird strategy.
But again, at least he's doing something different. But
yeah, he needs to try to do something different. But that one is quite a big stretch to try and push the Mercedes with Almauer with the tire when you definitely don't have the pace advantage.
And the worst thing as well is he'll probably go a lap down, so he's going to be getting blue flags. So yeah, not the optimal strategy.
The leader is now in Cheetah at the moment.
Yeah, just following them through there now. The gap's been 7/10 for a little while now. Morek's not really gaining. Now these guys have got into like single file again. They're starting to edge away again.
Yeah, I think slowly the traffic will be playing a bit of a role as well.
Yeah, AMS, I don't know if that was the best idea, my friend, because you've now come right out in the middle of all that. Although he has got a bit of free track for the moment, but he will catch the 154 at some point.
Yeah, at the moment there aren't that many battles that are going on. I think Niels is like a second off now of Van der Wal again, so Van der Wal gained back a bit, and then it's Bruno, but for the rest I don't really see any battles for position happening.
Well, there is battles happening, but they're not together.
Yeah, it's tough to see what's for position or what is not.
Yeah, I agree. It's
and Camille is back in the pit, so you might think of retiring the car now.
He could join us. But no, I think Bruno, like you say, his best bet really is to wait maybe another couple minutes before the halfway mark and just box before Nico, use the new tyres.
And Nico will definitely need to respond the lap after Bruno, because otherwise Bruno will be gone.
But the good news for the other championship contender, Sean Cool, is he's now got 8 seconds of free air in front of him till he catches Stuart Hutchinson for 6th place. So really, all Sean needs to do now is finish 4th. Because
yes, he is.
If he finishes 4th, he wins the championship by a point, and as long as Morex doesn't get past
the problem with that is that Hutch has a big gap to the cars in front of that.
Yeah, there is a 20-odd second gap to.
Of course, the others needs to do a pit stop still, but it's still.
It's going to be interesting, mate. It's going to come. We're going to know, like you say, we're going to know more really in the
last 30 minutes. It will slowly start to show what's going to happen, but definitely the last 15, you'll be knowing more and more.
Last 5, 100%, we should know what's going on, because people won't pit until the last lap that they can, really.
I think if Morek's is on the strategy like usual with the quick stop and go, it will be the last possible lap that he can do, so that will be 3 minutes to go, 2 minutes to go.
So number 16's in the pits as well. That's Andy Cross, so he's done both of his pit stops. Where is Ahmed Aldori? And he's
at the moment 16th, right behind Blonge.
Blonge, yep, and he's done his pit stop. So yeah, everybody's on a different strategy right now, so that's really cool. So again, we won't know until later. Sean is slowly catching.
It's not for us. For us, it's just hell.
Well, for us it's hell, but that's what adds to it. I'm just going to follow any battle I can find right now. So we got Niels.
Niels has caught up a bit again.
Yeah, we've got Niels all over the back of Van der Waal now. Their pace is swung around, so I think they're basically as quick as each other, but
yeah, I think it's just one makes a mistake, then the other gains a bit of time, then the other makes a mistake. It will just go back and forward at the moment.
So we've got 10 people watching. If you guys could give us a thumbs up, then maybe we won't get sacked and we could do it again sometime. Don't forget to subscribe to FRL for more content like this, and there's plenty of it coming. Like I say, the Indy 8 hour comes up on Saturday. 30 teams entered to that.
There's only a 1 week break, and then we will have the next season of Tacos, with season 10 starting.
Yeah, and the 1.9 update has been announced today, so that'll be coming next Tuesday.
Week. So it will definitely be an interesting new season with the new update, the new physics model, the new tires, all the new cars. So people will be needing to make new setups for the new cars. Even for the cars they had, they will be needing new setups. So yeah, it will definitely be an interesting season to see who can adapt the quickest.
Yeah, with the new cars, obviously a lot of testing, and I'm not going to talk about what happened with me, but because I'm a bit grumpy about the update, but never mind. It's just my luck. I'm known as a curse for a reason.
And then, of course, in August, the Driver Sub Series will start off again as well.
Yeah, so plenty to look forward to on FRL. Also, they've obviously got PC racing as well, so you want to get involved in that.
And also Formula 1 2023, I think, will start soon with the league, if I'm correct.
Yeah. There's always, like I say, there's something new starting all the time, and even if it's into the season, you can always find a race somewhere. So
yeah, there's always a place for a few reserves.
Yeah, you won't find any better racing than you find in FRL. That's £10, please, James.
Make it 20.
For 20, yeah, or £10 and €10.
I think €10 is more expensive than £10 for him. So.
Well, I've already lost the euro, so I'm losing. Speaking of which, Nico still leads this race, and he seems in control, mate. I mean, he doesn't seem phased by Bruno. I think he's seen what Bruno's done, and he can fight it.
He has battled Bruno a few times through the season, so he knows what Bruno usually tries to make the other driver do a mistake with showing his nose into corners and braking a bit later to put him off. So yeah. And
they've dropped Morix a little bit more now, so it's 3.5 seconds back to Morix, so he's 4 seconds off the lead. Sean, meanwhile, is taking lumps out with Stuart Hutchinson for 6th place, so we'll go to that in a bit.
Yeah, I think he will be maybe 4 or 5 laps off of getting to Hutch, but maybe Hutch will pit before that, since we're near the halfway mark. So expect the top 6, they will definitely need to pit still.
Yeah, we're in the pit window now, as they call it. People definitely think about getting the first stop out of the way now, and it'll be the longer one, I would have said, for the tyres and the fuel, and then they'll be trying to box near the end of the race, for the last pit stop. So right on board with Damien van der Poel, looking back at Niels van Lyck, and I'm actually really impressed with Niels, and that is very, very, very fast through that corner there, and he set it up for the move. He's gone for it, and that was stunning if he can hold it, but he's gone too deep.
Switchback, yeah. Oh, and a bit of contact, but
yeah, there's no fault there really, but a really good effort from Niels, showing he got a hell of a run there through the S's. That's what it's called.
And he tried it, but he just outbroke himself a bit.
And great to be on board with that when that happened. That was really good fun. And Niels has shown his intention now, so will Van der Poel be rattled by that? Will he maybe even think about pitting? No, but I think Niels goes for it again at the last corner. Oh, that was a little bit. And now he's got a good exit. And he's right on the back bumper now of the Audi again. Now, will he try the same trick and just dive down the inside of Van der Poel into turn 1? He's thinking about it, definitely. He's set it up, he's going for it. Oh, that's close. And they both live to fight another day, but only just. Impressive. MGK now up to 12th, right on the back of Ice Dude. But I cannot take my eyes off this because, oh look, motocross.
Oh, thanks, Jack, to say it. £1 is equal to 1.17 euros at the moment.
So am I getting ripped off again? Cameron Blair makes his first pit stop from 9th. And it's been a steady, solid, great run actually from Cameron so far. I don't know what his best result of the season is, but he might be able to beat that tonight. I would say we've got a couple of retirements now. Tro and Machkowski, definitely.
Yeah, definitely.
Right. Niels doesn't go for it again. Your favourite corner for pronouncing things that I can't. Leakop.
Yeah, around that.
It's something like that, yeah. It's in the vicinity. Morix in, Bruno in. So, Bruno going for the undercut. Let's see how much fuel he takes on. It was bound to be, I would say,
right on almost halfway.
So only you would and they part next to each other as well, even better. Right,
so
Bruno.
I think now Nico will definitely pit next lap to try and stop Bruno from doing the undercut.
And Nico needs to go like a bat out of hell now, because he knows what's coming. So yeah, these guys definitely taking tyres and fuel, so we'll see who leaves the pits first. We'll just go and check on the Niels battle as they go past them as they're in the pits, promoting the battle to 2nd and 3rd, but obviously until they pit. Sean now only 3.5 off Stuart Hutchinson, and Bruno's rolling, And Morix is rolling. It looked like Morix gained a little bit of time there, as Josh Clayton leaves the pits as well. And we're dead on halfway.
And I will keep an eye on Nico to see what he will do.
Stop and go for Morix, and that is really bad for his championship. Sean Cool goes past him, and Morix has got a stop-go penalty, which could completely ruin his championship now. That is... what a time to do it.
He will be kicking himself after a race.
Drama here.
That's as bad as you can get. That's the worst luck you can have.
It's such a horrible pit entry though. It's so bad. It's literally, it's so easy to do. I know what he's done, but what a time to do it. He had the championship in his lap.
Pit now as well.
Nico so pits. Yep. Great spot, mate. We'll come to that in a sec. I'm just getting over that. I just cannot believe he's done that.
Sean, now after a pit stop he was ahead of Morix, so he definitely picked the right strategy, so he knew that near the end of the race it would be a fight, but now he knows that basically he just needs to continue a steady race.
Well, if I'm right, Sean will be pitting very soon. So, yeah, I mean, Morix was well ahead of him.
I think he will... yeah, he will be pitting very soon, or maybe, depending on the fuel he did, he will be going for the last 30 minutes on the new tyre set.
Yeah, Van der Waal pits as well. Having a great race and a really good race with...
yeah, you keep now an eye on where
Bruno
right will come out. Oh.
Here comes Bruno. Yep, you keep an eye on Bruno.
Bruno is now...
and we're rolling with Nico.
I think Bruno Bruno will still be behind. Bruno's now
we're looking back from Nico, and I can see him rolling, but obviously Nico's on cold tyres. So Bruno needs to literally fight now. Morix comes in for his stop and go 30 seconds. I still cannot believe it. I mean, it's not completely over with his pace, but that is...
but he will now need a miracle as well. And I think he will be gutted about that mistake.
So how long will it take Nico to get his tyres up to temperature? It looks like he's gained ground to me.
Yeah, I think Bruno might have had a bit of traffic if you look at the cars behind him.
Yeah, that's possible, mate. Very possible. Morix, what have you done? I'm genuinely like, I mean, I don't know what to say.
It's a difficult one.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to... yeah, I can't say anything that's going to make him feel any better, let's put it that way. But he's rejoined the track anyway. But yeah, he is now on the same amount of pit stops as everyone else, but...
he is down in...
he's behind Hutch, 9th.
He's behind MGK.
Hutch, so he's 9th. I can see Hutch on the track map just ahead of him, so yeah, down to 9th. Well, can he pull off the impossible now from this? I mean...
so now it's basically all the pressure up to Sean to not make a mistake.
Oh, I'm sure he'll thank you for that one. Whereas Ams has dropped way back now, so... oh, he's also... he's also...
he has done both pit stops, so...
yeah, so... well... things have taken a twist. But Nils, let's give you his moment in the sun here. He's leading the race in the BMW, number 14. And impeccable drive from him so far. Qualified really well. I think it was 3rd. And now leads the race on the road.
And then the 2 cars back are still doing the same they did in the first stint. They're just nose to the rear and trying to...
and then Sean's actually the next car along behind them. But obviously we know he's got his big pit stop to make yet. And I think, if I'm right, it'll be this lap. I don't want to give his strategy away too much, but it'll be this lap.
I don't think the other drivers will be watching the stream and driving at the same time. So
I don't think they're listening in. They've probably got bored by now. But yeah, this is now drama. I mean, really, we just thought that we really thought Morix was well in front, and he was. So it was just a case of whether Sean could get up into the 4th position, which looked...
it would have been a nice battle at the end, I think.
Close. Yeah, I think Morix was quite far in front of it. Because when they both come out, obviously Morix had done his long stop and Sean had only done a splash and he was right behind him, so... yeah, I think he was net like 20 seconds down the road. Whoa, Bruno!
I don't want to say anything, but I think Bruno's gonna make either a mistake and brake too late and maybe hit the car in front of him, or he will make a mistake and crash himself, the way I see him pushing it really to the limit at the moment, trying to get past Nico.
Sean Call in the pits, nobody saw that coming. 40 minutes to go, Sean makes his second stop. Let's hope he hasn't spent the pit, because that will turn things around even more. He might have Aldori winning this championship yet, and he might even have MG.
It's your, I don't know, Czech friend, I think,
Thomas Wondlacek, how are you, mate?
Oh no, Bruno hit Nico.
Oh yeah, you just said that, didn't you?
I predicted it, but he's waiting for Nico to get past again, I think.
Oh, Bruno.
It was in barbecue that he hit the rear end of Nico.
Well, we don't talk about Bruno. Sorry, had to. Right.
I think now Disney will fucking copyright. I think Disney will copyright
swearing.
you. Yeah, sorry.
That's another pound in the pot. Do apologise for that. He is from Belgium, and it is their second language. I mean, we did think that was coming, and you predicted it. I didn't want to say it out loud, but yeah. Will Freeman also pits from, I think he was 7th. That moves Moritz up.
At the moment.
But, yeah, and he's leaving the pits, so where's Moritz? So yeah, Moritz is full behind
at the moment, also going well in 5th. With this alternate strategy, we'll call it.
We'll call it alien alternate. Makes no sense to me strategy, but he has got damage on the front of the car actually, just looking at that. So maybe that's why he pitted.
Now the question will be, because Nico has kind of spun it, if the tires got too damaged or not.
Yeah, but I think these two are he's just so much later on the brakes, isn't he? I think he catches himself out.
Yeah, I think he sometimes misjudges it a bit.
That's very polite of you. And that's Nils coming out. So Nils has done a little splash there, definitely. And he's side by side. Oh, that's tight. And he's separated the two Audis, but he won't have the grip on the exit because his tyres are not up to temperature. And that's allowed Bruno to have another look at Nico. As they head onto the back straight, Nico goes wide, and that's allowed Bruno through. Bruno will take the lead surely now. Can he stay there on the outside?
He's ahead.
He's ahead. And I've gone to the wrong car because I'm an idiot. There we go. And he is ahead. So Nils trying to straight another strategy as well. And Bruno's wide. That'll allow Nico back through surely. He's down the inside. He sends it. Oh, this is going to be tight. Popizzle gets a stop go, 30 seconds. They're side by side, banging doors. Both men want to win this championship decider at the end of the race.
But Nils is also just looking menacingly with the BMW.
Oh, Bruno very late on the brakes again. Is he too late? Nico's got the inside and he will take back the lead. And that was brilliant racing. That's what we want to see. That's more like it. But Bruno's not giving up. Bruno's not giving up. Bruno's not giving up, and there's contact again. Oh, Bruno, what are you made of? And Bruno takes the lead at last from Nico after 3-4 attempts. Another whack up the back.
Will he keep it? That's the next question.
Oh well, that's history will tell us.
You mean in the future? No, and Thomas to answer. Ben had a terrible crash in Zandvoort and he's basically still recovering from it.
Yeah, I broke my arm and broke my brain mentally. But yeah, what a battle this is, P1, Thomas, you're right. This is absolute manic. Bruno's been trying to get past for basically an hour. Best part of an hour anyway. And has finally managed it. We'll see what happens with the contact thing. I didn't see it. Did you see it?
I just basically went to the POV when I saw Nico going right, this rear end going off when the contact happened. So I think Nico will be a bit annoyed by it. But in the end, I didn't completely see it, so I can't really say if it's a racing incident or if it's purely out braking.
Marks has passed Hutch, by the way, so he's up to 6th, but he is, well, he's a long way off where he was before. Well, I'd say it's still on between him and Sean. He needs to pull a gap on Sean Cool, definitely. But the gap is only 5 seconds, so he's going to need a lot more than that. Sean definitely in the driving sheet for this championship now. He's got the little luck that he needed, and I can't believe it.
No, it's hard to believe at the moment. And Thomas, he's joking with it. He had a terrible crash, but he didn't break his arm.
No, I was basically giving up on my season because it was horrific, and decided to test the Porsche, which has now just been superseded by the new Porsche that's coming out in a week. So I spent 3-4 weeks practicing on a car that I now can't drive. So yeah, no problem there. Yeah, I saw the stop go for Pop Izzle. That's a shame for him. He was actually qualified quite well, but he had a massive crash at Cheetah, and that was pretty much his race ruined.
Yep.
And now this stop and go has just completely finished that off. Bruno now edging away from Nico, who's off in second place. Nils continues to impress in third place, but he definitely didn't take a full tank of fuel. Or he took fuel and he didn't take tyres. Maybe it was that way round. Big gap to Van der Waal, and that's who he was fighting before, so that kind of shows you the difference of how much he gained in that pit stop.
Yes.
So yeah, that can help us with that. MGK, like you say, doing well in 5th, but we know he took a lot of fuel. And then Morix in 6th has another pit stop to make, so yeah, with that stop go 30 seconds, that might be the end of his championship. That might have just cost him. We did say he made the odd error here and there before, and Stuart Hutchinson now has Sean Cool behind him again.
Yeah, I was also just watching at it like, will he be able to get rid of this BMW quicker than
Before.
who was it again? Who was it before? Thomas, I think. Yeah.
Yes, Thomas, because of bad driving. Yeah, we've got a question. Whack it in the chat. If it's intelligent, I'll read it out. If your name's Thomas, I won't. Sorry, mate. But now, back to the racing. Sean surely then needs to get past Hutch just to give himself some free air so that he can whack in a few good laps, so that he's definitely safe from Morix. And he's sending one down the inside now. Hutch doesn't fight it. Hutch knows the situation that Sean's going for a championship.
Yeah, Hutch is also still one pit stop. Has still one pit stop to go. So
kind of not in this race. Sean says thank you with a weave there. And the lead battle is not over, by the way. It stayed at a second for a little while now. Nico probably just trying to think of whether he should approach Bruno after all the contact. Neil's in third place still. I think he didn't take tyres because he's now dropping pretty quickly.
He was, I think, I will look back at the stream how much he was behind before the pit stops.
Well, he was behind. Well, he was behind Van der Waal by like a 10th. So now he's 20 seconds ahead of him. So that to me says fuel, not tyres.
Yeah, they were around 80 seconds before the pit stops happened. So yeah, he definitely didn't put tyres on.
MGK, I have no idea what he's doing. I haven't got a clue. Here's a good little battle. Small hand just behind Ray Thomas in the other brightly coloured BMW. And again, Blanche, another impressive guy that we need to mention, in 11th place. Very impressed by you, sir.
Yeah, and Jackson fair shout. It will be look what Morix now will do, but he will definitely be chasing the rabbit either way, if he boxes now or not.
Yeah, I actually agree with Jack, to be honest with you. Just box now, get it out of the way, and just go, and just see what happens in front of you. Nico takes another 10th out of Bruno's lead. He's not giving up. So Morix now only 6 seconds ahead of Sean. He needs to get that because he needs to do a splash and dash. That's going to cost him 20 odd seconds at least, isn't it? So he needs another 13 seconds to get himself back in this race for the championship. He's got half an hour to do it, so it's not over yet. Believe it or not, I don't think that's over yet.
No, but the issue is he needs a car in between him and Sean as well, so that's the more difficult question to ask.
Yeah, he needs fastest lap and...
No, if he has fast lap and he finishes in front of him, he wins the championship.
Yeah,
but I think Nico and Bruno have the pace over him, so they will fight out for a fast lap, because at the moment now Nico has it and not Bruno. So I think Morex will need to hope that either Van der Wal or MCK or maybe even Niels will in the end be near Sean.
Yeah, I totally agree with you on that one. It's a great little battle. So Ray Thomas in 9th, Small Hand 10th, Blanche in 11th. They're being caught by Ahmed Al-Dori, whose championship is really, well, it's a distant memory now. It's not looking good for him at all. He needs major issues. In fact, he's got Will Friedman all over the back of him.
Yes, Thomas, it's the final round for Season 9.
Small Hand making manoeuvres on Ray, but Ray closing them off very well there. And Blanche just waiting for this to all go wrong. But Will all over the back of Ahmed Al-Dori, and Al-Dori's car moving around in the back end there. It says to me that he hasn't really got the setup. He wasn't confident. Remember, we read out the driver's faults at the start of this, and yeah, he definitely was not confident. And it's proven so in the race, and Will's got a lot more grip, able to brake a lot later.
Yeah, and Nico is still staying around to 1 second to Bruno, so I think that fight might be coming back.
Morix is not able to pull chunks out of Sean, so it's about 8 seconds now. He's only got up a couple attempts. Sean needs to push Jack, because if he doesn't and Morix pulls out a 20-second lead, it's game on again. But Will now, let's see what he's got in terms of top speed against this Merc, which has looked a bit ordinary on the straights as Blanche pits for his final pit stop.
I think they're evenly
matched on the
straight.
Will might dive down the inside here. No, not close enough.
Better
and I think Ams might have gone deep there. He has a little bit. Will with a cutback, but he's got nowhere to go with that. He can maybe cut back again.
Yeah, it's not on the ideal line for it.
But
Al-Dori will definitely make a move further down.
Al-Dori under pressure. But Marks takes another second out of Sean. Now 9 seconds, so we're going to have to watch this, you know, mate.
Yeah, it will. I think it will be a battle in the end.
I think you're right. So it's not over yet. I got a feeling this is going to go down to the last lap. But I think we can rule out Ahmed Al-Dori now for the championship. And obviously MGK. So it's down between Morix and Sean Cool for the championship. With 27 minutes to go here at Kyalami. At the front, Bruno leads by 8 tenths now, so Nico just keeping a watching brief. He's not going to get too close. Yeah, you don't want to get too close to Bruno at the moment.
And I think Niels might be questioning his choice for putting no tires on.
Yeah, it's looking that way. I don't know the gap. Yeah, 19 seconds back to Vanderbilt, so it's not as if he's closing down rapidly on him. So I guess it might work for a podium.
It might work, but it's still 26 minutes and still a long time in a hot race and a hot track to really make those tires go all the way.
But then he is nearly 40 seconds ahead of Morix, so his only competition would be Vanderbilt for that podium. Possibly Sean.
Yeah, but we don't need to forget him since he has done all his pit stops.
Yep, so we're not too far away from finding out what's going on, and Nico really good in the last sector has closed it down to 0.5. His lights on now, trying to intimidate Bruno. Bruno very good into turn 1 though, we've seen that all day. Up into barbecue, my favourite name for a corner. And Niels dropped back to 10 seconds behind us now, so these guys are really stepping on it. Sean now nearly 10 seconds behind Morix. This championship is not over, but it is between these two. Apologies for that. Morix in the 99 Audi. Stop and go 30-second penalty has put him in this position. He should have been walking away with the championship, really.
Yeah, he made it difficult on himself.
Yeah, we did discuss that to start with, but we thought those days were over. But anyone could have that happen to them. To be fair, it's such an awkward pit entry, this one, because you're carrying a lot of speed off the track straight onto the line.
Yes.
Sean now just behind Fireblade, is that? Yep. Fireblade in 19th place. Should just jump out of the way of Sean, and does. Great sportsmanship. Words to that effect.
Will doesn't really seem to be having the upper hand against Aldori at the moment.
No, he kind of had a good look, and now he's kind of settled into Aldori's pace. But they're both just edging in on Ray Thomas in the BMW just up the road.
And to be fair, they have a really good chance at still getting close to the top 5, since they both have done all their pit stops, and nearly all the cars except for Sean have done. We still need to do one pit stop.
Well, Moggs is in for his final stop. Remember, he started dead last on the grid, so he's slowly been moving forward. Just keeping an eye on Vanderpool's just starting to take a few seconds out of Nils. It's down to 17 now. Sean 13 behind Morrick, so that's drama. And he's fallen back behind. Drama. He's fallen back behind Fireblade, so he's definitely had a moment there. And he cannot afford moments if he wants to win this championship. He's going to go back up the inside of Fireblade. Fireblade thinks about letting him go, but does eventually. There's no damage I can see on the car, so I would have said like a half spin, maybe caught a curb wrong.
Can be. Or Marx is really pushing it and trying to make up for the mistake he made.
Yeah, it's definitely a mistake from Sean there, because he dropped back behind Fireblade, so I would say he's probably down through the S's. He's caught the curb wrong and it's sent him sideways. And
now Bruno stretching his legs a bit more, with Nico being 1.8 seconds behind.
Stretching his legs, that's one way to burn it. He must have really long legs. Yeah, he's oh, you're closing up to me. Yeah, have that. As he puts like a second or so into him. But then Nico again really good in that final sector, takes 2 tenths back.
Yeah, but in the end we didn't know what happened, so if it is something Nico thinks was unjustified, he can go to the stewards to try and get a race win that way. So therefore Bruno really needs to try and get a big gap.
Yeah. Well, it'll all come down to that final pit stop. Van der Waal in. And Popizzle, but yeah, his race was over a long time ago, and now Moggs is staying in the pits as well, so Moggs must have had an issue as well, so we're down to like 18 runners now. So let's go through that. Bruno leads.
Blunch, I think, has had a moment as well, because he's at the moment 17th with all his pit stops done, but he seems a bit off where he was at the moment.
Yeah, I'm not seeing any damage, so maybe a spin or just got the strategy wrong, or might have just put tyres on twice or something. This is what happens when you're a newcomer, you just learning the ropes. You learn the hard way with, oh, I put tyres on twice, no one else did.
And Morax is now pushing MGK through the back straight.
Oh yeah, that's good spot, mate. So what can MGK do? Can he hold Morax up? And he's blocking him there, and he's covering the inside.
He has a bit of damage on the front end of his Ferrari though.
I would say yeah, he's hit something, and he's just trying to figure out whether the car's still drivable. But Morax is being held up here quite a lot.
This will help Sean for sure.
Yeah, MGK looks a little bit wounded here. Car's bouncing around a bit.
That's just a Ferrari.
That's just Ferrari things. Yeah. I think he's just. It looks like he's like had almost like a half spin, and he's just trying to get back onto the pace.
Yeah.
And Nils pits. Let's just go back to MGK though, because that looks like it's going to heat up. And around the outside from Morex, but MGK covers that. Nope. Great battle between these two, but this is costing Morex time.
Yeah, this costs Morex a lot of time.
And into the pits.
In now.
Yeah, so MGK must have had a bit of damage and decided that actually I need to pit and get this sorted. But that might have played into Sean Cool's hands.
It definitely will have
Nils
helped
is
a bit.
So Nils definitely hasn't taken tyres, and that's his strategy for this race. He's doing the whole race on one set because now he's out again, and that was too soon.
But the issue is he's only 4 seconds behind.
And Van der Waal goes around the outside. Van der Waal goes around the outside. He'll have slightly hotter tyres, and surely that's going to be enough of contact. Unnecessary there, definitely. And, well, Damien Van der Waal pulls it off. And he has newer tyres, we know that, because he definitely changed tyres. Sorry mate, I had to jump across you there, I just seen it.
Yeah, my timing screen didn't update that well.
MGK, that felt like a long stop to me. Where's
yeah, he had damage, so he probably repaired his damage.
Yeah, that's true. So what have we got then? So Bruno leads 1 second ahead of Nico, who's off.
So that will go down to the wire in the end.
Yes, that's going to be our battle for the win. The battle for the championship is Morek's third, but just been held up badly there by the recovering MGK. Damien Van der Waal, I think it's Damien. Gonna say Damien Van der Waal. 4th place, so he's jumped Nils, and Nils will struggle to get back at him with his no tyre strategy. And in fact, if I can hear in the background, I believe there's a Mercedes thundering around behind him. 4.8 behind is Sean Cool. So, yeah, we'll see what happens there. But it's between Cool and Morek's for the championship. That's what we 100% know now.
Yep.
And here is Sean Cool in 6th place. He has led the championship since Laguna Seca, the very first round. And things are starting to work in his favour at the moment. But Morek's is fast, and we know that he can still try and pull off this championship. Hutch 7th, still has the pit. Ray Thomas 8th, still has the pit. Aldori is 9th, should move up, but he's still got Will Freeman all over the back of him. In fact, Will's got a good exit there. Back down through the kink, heading towards Crowthorne. Can Will send one up the inside? He's having a little look, but I think that's more of a hi, I'm here, than an actual attempt at an overtake. And he ducks back into line. So continue down through the order. MGK is 11th, so and his car's fixed now. You can see the front end's fixed, so definitely had damage. Ice Dude 12th, Blair's 13th, and completely off the track.
With Josh Clayton at the moment.
And goes off at Cheetah into the final corner. And yep, you're right, Josh Clayton all over the back of him. And he's weaving across the track now to try and stop Josh getting the slipstream. It looks like they're pretty even on power. Mercedes now surely down the inside.
Who will be better on the braking is now the next question.
And down the inside, nice move from Josh Clayton. And Blair gives him all the room in the world and says, go on then, off you go. So Josh Clayton up to 13th. Blair down to 14th and seems to be slowing. And pulling off the line there. What's happened to the Bentley? And he's really slow now, so yeah, there's an issue here, and he's pulling off the track.
It's brake.
And the Bentley's gone into destruction mode. Well, I hope he can get that going again. That's a shame. And
yes, he's starting.
No.
Oh no, he braked again.
And he's back to the pits. So I would say that's an issue with like your steering wheel or pedals or something like that there for Cameron Blair. That's a real shame.
It doesn't seem like he ran out of fuel with it.
Just to finish off the order, 18th, Fireblade, but he'll move up to 17th. Blonge is 16th. Andy Creighton 15th. Smallhand 14th. Popizzle's 19th and the last of the runners. 2 laps down after a big crash and a stop-go penalty. The lead now 6 temps. Nico coming back again, another go. And they got MGK just in front of them. And Niels van Nils is going to have issues with Sean Cool very soon.
We're going to have so many people sending us a message like, what did you abuse our name for?
You weren't even close to saying my name right. I'm like, I'm really sorry.
And MGK nicely staying out of the way of the 2 leaders.
Yeah, that's an experienced driver at work there, letting these 2 go on their way. Fascinated to see what happens in the pit stops and see who does what and when.
just where Morix comes out, because at the moment, if he comes out in front of Niels, for example, Sean will really need to get past him. Otherwise, the championship still might be Morix's.
At the moment, it's 11 seconds between Sean and Morix, so it's kind of. Actually, I think that's come down because he must have lost a lot of time behind MGK. Actually, I wonder if he came across MGK when he had spun. So he maybe lost a lot of time that way, because it was up around 13 seconds if you remember. Now I believe it to be 10, 12. Yeah.
And Bruno's getting a bit of time back to Nico. It's now back up to 1.6 seconds.
It's like he's found a secret passage through like the first couple corners. And then Bruno normally takes 2 or 3 attempts back in this final sector. Let's see if he does that again. Bruno was so wide at the last corner that he needed a ticket to get back into the track. He was, and no, he doesn't actually. No, Bruno on a fast lap and pulls out the gap again.
Maybe the little slide of Nico will now, or like slide that Nico had due to the contact, might now start to hurt his tires a bit more.
Well, Niels, you've got issues, my friend, and it's in the shape of the champion to be, possibly, as Sean's actually at the curb there, as I've said that. Cursed him completely.
Yeah, I was like, it would have been the biggest curse you could have ever done.
The champion in waiting. Sean called in 6th place, and that has fully cursed him. And he is closing in very, very quickly on Niels. Niels, the no tyre strategy, don't get that one myself.
It was a gamble.
Don't get that one myself, because he had pace.
Yeah, he was fighting with Van der Wal either way, so I think it's a bit of a gamble he did.
Credit for trying it, but he's really, I think he's cost himself a podium there with that one.
I think the weather just was a bit too much for trying it with the whole track conditions.
But we know Cool put new tyres on about half an hour ago, so he should have a massive advantage over that BMW who's been on the same tyres now for
an hour 15.
An hour 15, yeah. Let's just call it that. So let's watch this battle, because I think it's going to be pretty. They're going to be pretty close pretty soon. Now Nico's missed and made a mistake, and Bruno's in.
So Lewis, basically Morix is 3 points behind Sean, so he needs 1 car in between him and Sean to win the championship.
So let's just concentrate on the race victory at the moment, which obviously doesn't have any championship implications, but Bruno's pitted, and now Nico needs to show what he's got. He needs to literally do a couple laps of his life. He can obviously stay out and pit maybe in 10 minutes time with like a lap or 2 left. Would be the safest option.
Yeah, he doesn't really have any traffic in front of him at the moment, so it doesn't like he will have a big issue at the moment. Yeah,
next car on track in front of him is Pop Izzle, who's about, I'll say, 10-15 seconds up the road.
Meanwhile, Bruno has a car in the form of Josh Clayton right in front of him at the moment.
That was a quick stop from Bruno actually, and Josh jumped straight out of the way, as you'd expect from Josh, who recently became a father, so well done to him, hence the pink headlights. And Josh, top lad, and doing a great job in this race. He's in 13th position, unlucky for some, but I'm sure he'll be happy with that. Sean now right behind Niels, into turn 1, and at this point I think Niels will be cursing his strategy, because he'll be defenceless against this Mercedes, I'm pretty sure of it.
Yes, he will be.
In terms of the championship, Morix, yes, he's in front, but he has a pit stop to make, but he had a stop-go 30-second penalty, which has really ruined his chances, but they're not over. Because he has pace, he can still win this championship, but he needs this really. Needs Niels to hold up Sean quite a lot. And even that might not be enough.
Yeah, because at the moment it's only, I think, 14 second gap.
No, it's more than that, mate.
Oh, it isn't.
It's 14 seconds, you're right, I was looking at the wrong car. Well, he needs
myself.
Actually, that's getting there. And now Sean will get up the inside of Niels. Niels will be defenceless. Sean will get up the extra grip, and he will get through. And in,
but,
I don't know, this other side of the BMW has got
more
pace.
Yeah, it has more straight line speed, so it will be close now.
He's offline and there's a lot of bumps on the outside, and now Sean was already, he's got to be careful, he can't take the risks. And now we will dive back up, use the grip.
Wide a bit.
He'll use the grip, and now this is going to be really tight into Cheetah.
He will back.
He won't, and that's contact. And, no, I don't know about that one.
That's a weird decision to make.
I would have backed out.
If I would have been this, I would have backed out of it.
Yeah.
Knowing where Morex is and such.
Well, and that might have lost them enough time now that Morex has got a chance here. This is
don't forget, Niels is not happy with it. He's flashing his lights, so that might even go to the stewards. That
could go to the stewards, and we'll see what they say. But it's an unusual place to try and make an overtake. He did have the undercut on the corner, but
side by side. But
was he far enough ahead?
I don't think so.
No.
Because he touched the rear end of Niels, so I think that will always be deemed a fault from Sean.
So, oh my God, this won't be over. So we could have a case of someone being a champion, but not actually knowing the result until the stewards.
It will depend if Niels is like, I don't really care about it.
Flashing your lights tends to suggest otherwise.
Yeah, but it's also in the heat of the moment. You know as well as a driver that sometimes in the heat of the moment you're a bit, what did he do? And afterwards, if you look back at the incident, it might be like, I also could have done something different about it. But yeah, that only time will tell that part.
Well, Blanche just pitted again, but I'd imagine that's for damage because I'm pretty sure he did his 2 stops.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, it was going to be Abu Dhabi all over again, says Lewis. Mikey, no. Well,
yeah, because at the moment he's 18 seconds behind.
Mate, this is going to go down to the last lap. I have no doubt about this. And the wiper's on for Nico, even though we have optimum conditions of bright sunshine. So either it's a massive bug and an albatross, or he's just...
or maybe he's doing the rain dance.
Yeah, maybe he's just paranoid. But yeah. Okay, Nico, you do what you got to do, mate. No, Mikey, no! That's what I can see coming.
Yeah. It would be a sour one to lose it on the stewards in the stewards room, I think.
But rules is rules, oh.
Yeah.
The gap to Morex now is 19 seconds, and we said about 20, didn't we? Morex is bringing himself back into championship contention here. Big time. Nico pits. Now this is for the race win, let's see. You keep an eye on... and actually he's already at the last corner. And Nico's stopped for longer than I would have presumed. And he's... there's a bit of a slow getaway in, and Bruno takes back the lead. So it looks like Bruno is going to take his... I think it's his 3rd win, actually. If I remember rightly. Yeah, I think Bruno's won 2 races already. Yeah, he has back-to-back. So yeah, no one that could have been in this championship fight. He done the whole season. But yeah, that settled that one. But again, there was contact between those two, so that might be a no Mikey no as well.
And looking at it now, because Boozer was 22 seconds ahead before his pit stop, and now he's a second and a half behind, so that means it's a 24 second loss you do when you're doing a pit stop for just a stop and go. So that means that Morex will need a bit more.
I wonder if Nico had damage though from the hit earlier and he just repaired that.
That would be a silly mistake. Oh, he's now 6 seconds down.
Yeah, I think Bruno has this in the bag, obviously provisionally. I think we're going to have to use that word quite a lot now. But Morex is driving himself back into championship contention here, obviously helped by the contact between Niels and Cool, and Niels is now all over the back of Cool. Cool might have been better off just to let Niels back through actually straight away. Just to maybe
get the stewards out of the way with saying, hey, I gave it back.
Yeah, this is going to make it very, very close on the final laps between Sean Cool and Morex. You wanted a championship showdown, we build it as a championship showdown, and it is a championship showdown.
It seemed like at the moment Morex lost it with his stop and go 30, but he really managed to get it He's way back into the fight.
He's definitely driving himself back into this, mate. 100%. He's just decided to fight back with stunning pace. He's 13 ahead of Van der Vault. What is he ahead of Sean? So he's 13 plus whatever this is, 7. So 20.4 seconds now the gap. So, well, I'd love it for them to pit right now and we'll just see where we are.
Thomas, no idea who is going to win the championship at the moment. It might not be this.
We don't know. It might, yeah. It might have to go down to the FIA or FRL. This is crazy. But one thing's for sure, it looks like unless he throws it off the track, Bruno's going to win this race provisionally.
And he nearly threw it off the track when you say it.
Yes, I do that a lot. Sorry, Bruno. I won't say it again.
So try to not say anything for Morex or Sean anymore, because
if I do, I'll say it to both of them, so it's fair. And there's a car off. That's 500.
That's
Clates. Oh, Clates, come on, mate. Nah, he's alright. He's just gone off in the gravel a little bit. Hutch is in for his final stop. Drops off the jacks, and he's away, looking good for a 9th place, because MGK's just coming around the final corner now. So a top 10 would be great. So we're just waiting on Morix's pit stop to figure out what's going on with the championship now. And then again, we can only call what we see. What happens after this, like I say, it's down to the FRL stewards indeed if it goes that far, but provisionally is what we'll call it.
And the race win might also go to the stewards room.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying Bruno's provisionally winning the race, because
we know... I thought you were...
No. Bruno's provisionally winning the race, Nico's second.
But he will definitely be within the 5-second gap to be sure whatever penalty they deal.
Mark's is slow. Mark's really slow out of Cheetah there. I don't know what that was all about. Maybe he was just changing his strategy and just...
No, he's in the pits at the moment.
No, he was slow coming into and out of Cheetah. He was very slow. I don't know what happened there. Because he's lost 3 seconds to Van der Vault.
So now we will see where he comes out.
Right, you keep an eye on Sean Cole, who's going into Cheetah Bend now. And he's actually stopped a little bit longer than I would have imagined. And he's at the start of the pit lane. He's moving. Sean Cole comes out the last corner. This is going to be mega close. Will he come past? He has come past. Sean Cole takes over 4th place from Morex and provisionally is leading the championship. There's about 2-3 laps to go. Morex has got a lot of pace, we know that. He crosses the pit exit line, needs to watch that he doesn't get caught for that. But now Sean Cole is in championship winning position at the moment, and even if Morex passes him, it doesn't matter.
One thing Morex definitely needs to be sure of is to get rid of Niels really quickly.
Yeah, it's true. He's behind Niels as well. I didn't see that. Aldori, I'm ashamed for him. He'll probably finish 3rd in the championship. Yep, he's going to be 3rd in the championship. But Morex needs to close 4 seconds to Sean in about 3 laps. That's 2 laps. Sorry, that's not going to happen.
Nope. But he still needs to try and get as close as possible for if it would go to the stewards room. Which Lewis really hopes is not happening.
Yeah, we don't want...
Lewis, you're right. Kind of the Michael Messi of FRL, alright? So...
Lewis, you're a steward, so we're asking you who's winning this, okay? It's down to you now. No pressure. But Bruno has driven a great race. Obviously, there was that issue with Nico, but apart from that, he had a lot of pace and he's showing that.
Yeah.
And he is...
But I think they're kind of similar on pace if you look at it, because now after pit stops, Nico still stayed at 6 seconds, sorry.
So then we have Nico Buzov second. He'll feel a little bit upset, obviously, with the contact and things, and after leading the race for basically the most part. Yeah. Credit to Damien Van der Vault. Absolutely brilliant drive, and pit window is close, so now we're into the last knock-ins of the race, but Damien Van der Vault 3rd, and that is a fantastic result for him if he can pull that off. I don't know that he's done anything like that all season. I think his best result before this was 4th, so this will be his first podium of the season, and what a time to do it. Sean Cole, though, he can sniff that FRL championship that he's been fighting for a long time. Actually, he's been in this series probably 4 or 5 seasons now. Come close before, but not managed to pull it off, and it's looking like he's heading towards it as Bruno starts his final lap. Nils, can he hold on against Morix? He's in 5th. His car's probably handling like an eel on oil right now. It's going to be slipping all over the place. Morix is 6th. Aldori 7th. Still has Will Freeman all over the back of him, so that's still good change. I'll keep an eye on the leader, mate. Just tell me when he's into the final sector. Then we got Hutch 9th, MGK 10th. Disappointing for him because he's normally in the top lot.
I think his strategy just didn't work out, and the damage hit didn't help either. Yeah,
the crash really put an end to that, and the strategy didn't make sense to us at the time. Ray Thomas is 12th, just right behind Ice Dude, so that battle's still raging. Small Hand 13th, faded during the race, to be fair. Just looked good at the start. Josh Clayton 14th, Andy Craft 15th, Fireblade 16th, Blonge in 17th. That's a good debut. I think he took tyres twice.
And Morix is right on the back of Nils now on the straight.
Where is the leader at the moment? He is still halfway around the lap.
He's
Morix dies down the inside. No, not on. Nils covers that. And Morix, well, he'll know why he's lost this championship. And even if Sean gets a 5-second penalty, it could still...
He needs to get past him. And for your information now, the leader is now heading towards Sheeta. If you want to go towards him.
Bruno eventually got the lead. Eventually he managed to find a way through, and he'll feel rightly that he is going to win the final rounds of the FRL Taco Tuesday Championship Season 9 at Kyalami, the 1.5 hour race. Bruno wins in the number 46 Audi, and Nico Buzov is second with fastest lap, and he's gone straight up, and he's flashing his lights to say thank you. Thanks for the race, and doesn't seem that upset with second place, so well done to Nico. He's had a pretty good season actually in the Audi, and a great battle. Thanks for the show, guys, really enjoyed that. Credit to this man, Mr. Vandervoort.
Oh, Morix is going around the outside. They're side by side.
Not going to pull off, they're both off the track.
I think Nils will keep it.
So Vandervoort gets his first podium of the season in the Audi, so 1, 2, 3 for the Audi teams, and Sean Cole will come across the line to become Taco Tuesday champion provisionally of Season 9.
Oh my! And what is it?
Morix got it on the line by 16 thousandths ahead of Nils.
So now it's still up to the stewards.
It's down to the stewards, but we'll only call what we can see here right now, and provisionally Sean Cole is your champion in the 444 Mercedes. The rest will be dealt with out of our hands. We'll just leave that. But Sean Cole's first championship in Taco Tuesday. Morix come home 5th, Nils 6th, Aldori come home 7th. Be disappointed though with losing the championship in the final round. Will Freeman got 8th. That's good for him considering where he started. Hutchinson 9th, MGK 10th, and he's written off the Ferrari again. Ice Dude in 11th, just ahead of Ray Thomas, and the rest have all finished. But provisionally, Bruno wins the race. Provisionally, Sean Cole wins the championship.
It's a real challenge to basically say anything now, because we don't know anything that will happen.
Like I say, mate, that's out of our hands. We can only no, make you know.
It's also a bit out of the driver's hands. They don't know if is the other driver gonna report it firstly.
But like I say, we'll just call what we've seen, and the rest is out of our hands, and it will be decided after this stream. So, congratulations to Bruno, congratulations to Sean Cole. Fantastic.
Yeah, we've seen it, Clades. We see that you got taken out again.
Yeah, mate.
Hey, if anybody wants to join in on this action, Taco Tuesday starts again with a new season in 2 weeks' time.
So we're just going to invite Sean Cole into the chat and just get his view on proceedings. Let's see if we can do that now. Sorry if you're not seeing much on the screen right now. So we'll just see if Sean will join us. We've sent him a message provisionally. But what a race. I mean, that was everything we wanted it to be, really, wasn't it? And Sean Call now joins us from the racetrack here at Kyalami. Well, Sean, you're champion of Tacos Tuesday Season 9. What does that mean?
I can't talk right now. I'm knackered.
Please don't swear. Kobe's done it twice.
I know, I'm trying not to. I'm trying not to. Do my best behaviour.
I've done it twice on 2 hours. I'm happy.
No, I couldn't fault the car, to be honest with you. I completely changed the setup before the race as a gamble. I'd done 2 hot laps in the practice session with it, and I was like, do you know what, I'm just going to stick with it and let's go for it. And to be honest with you, for the Mercedes not being so strong here, it never put a foot wrong the whole race, apart from, I don't know if you saw it with Neil Barcer there at the end.
Yeah. Are you worried about like possible stewards there? Because what was your opinion of the incident? We saw it obviously from the helicopter camera.
Well, I got a run down the hill on him, and I was on the inside, and I was. So once we got to the bottom of the hill, I had the corner, and I was like to myself, he's going to outbrake himself, which he did, and that's why I tried to do the switchback. And then we were side by side going round. He possibly was a little bit ahead, and I was like, I thought he would have given me a bit more room. We'll see what happens. But to be honest with you, I think we're just both of us being not on the same side of things, really. But we'll see what happens. But I can't see myself getting penalised for it.
Okay.
Because I had to take avoidable action for him on the previous corner before, because he dived in as well. So. But we'll see what happens. But yeah.
Any questions?
And Sean, what were your thoughts when you saw Morex with his stop and go 30?
I probably had a big smirk on my face. But to be honest with you, it's a shame because you get so far in the season, especially for Morex, who's done a fantastic job, and to possibly lose the championship for a stop and go. I don't know what it was for, if it was speeding in the pit lane or what, but
it was,
yeah, it's quite of a kick in the teeth for him. But at the same time, you know yourselves with this championship, you can't make mistakes.
No.
Or it just bites you, you know. And as soon as I did see that, I kind of lifted off the pace because I was like to myself, right, just bring the car home. At one point, I thought I was on for a podium when before I'd done my main mandatory pit stop, I came out behind Bruno, and I was like, oh, this could be a podium here. But then that never happened.
Then the Audi kicked into full gear.
Yeah. No, I was doing mid 42s. I couldn't believe it. I was like, this might work. And at the start of the race as well, I got hit.
I saw that.
And I was like, oh no, do not go round. You know, so just tried to keep it on the track, which I did. And it's like I said, I stuck to my guts and pitted lap 1 to get clear air, and it worked.
Yeah, so obviously Morik's got that stop going. That's really what livened up the championship chance for you, because it was looking like Morik's had it in the bag at one point.
Yeah, he got an absolutely fantastic start. He got a really good start. I mean, I saw him in, I think it was P3 by like turn 4.
Yeah.
He was. And I was like, oh, you've got to be joking me. You know, I was like, SBR boys attack. You know, I was like, do something please. But no, look, I think through the whole season, AMS, myself, and Morex, possibly Bruno as well. Bruno, if he never missed a few races, he would have been right there as well, to be honest with you. But look, it's a very close championship, and I'm over the moon to win the championship. We'll have to see in that result, but I think if I drop behind Morex, I think I'll be champion.
It depends on the penalty. If they give you a penalty, how big it will be.
If anything, it'll be 10, but I doubt it. I just can't see it being a penalty, because if I never took avoidable action on the previous corner, you would have wiped me out. But we'll see what happens. But right now, see how it goes. And yeah, that's it.
Thomas, don't say that, because he will next time fucking get you.
Kobe.
He will be catching you again in the endurance series. You know that.
Yeah.
Right, I think we'll end the stream there on that bombshell.
I think
But,
everyone's getting a bit tired.
Yeah, congratulations to Bruno on the win. Congratulations, Sean, on the championship. Something that you've been trying to do for a long time, I know that. So, yeah, well done.
Yeah.
Even if it is provisional for the moment. But,
And
yeah,
good luck
amazing.
defending it next season then.
Will you run the number 1?
Put to run the number 1.
Good, man. That's what we wanted to hear.
Put to run number 1 on the Jaguar.
On the Jaguar, right. You heard it here first, people. Well, all I can say is thanks for watching. If you enjoyed it, then whack a like on and subscribe to the FRL for more action. Like I say, the 8 hours coming up on the weekend. Sorry about the possible swearing at some points. You might have heard it. But that's Kobe. I'm sorry. He will now be beaten in the dark room. But yeah, thanks again, and congratulations to the winners. And we'll see you next season when Tom comes back and it's much more professional. See you guys. Thanks for watching.